Hello, chat. Hello, my nerdkind. Welcome back to Magic Fish Radio. We run tabletop RPG streams on Tuesdays and Saturday nights. Tonight it is Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday
Saturday,
night.
Saturday. Sorry.
So we are running Exit to Eden, a world of darkness in space, which is all of the NWoD splats you know and maybe love, but in a far-flung future. It is 6,000 years in Earth's future, and humanity has spread out across the stars and star systems, and the world of darkness went with them. And then at some point during those 6,000 years, the veil fell for everyone, Supernats became outed, and at first humanity was like, oh, so you've been protecting us from giant monsters this whole time, okay. But then things got worse, and the government decided, for whatever reason, hey, so people are starting to hate on Supernats. Let's make them hate them more so they don't pay attention to what the shit is we're doing. And yes.
Politics.
So, that leading to our protagonists, who are part of Karve Tourism Ltd. Well, two of them are part of Karve Tourism Ltd. One of them they've seemed to have picked up recently.
Where'd you find this baby? In the trash. We'll put it back. No.
We found it the same way one finds a burr in one sock.
At least she's a very colorful burr.
For a night courtier, that's, yeah, you've got the gregarious flaw. Anyway, so Karve Tourism Ltd. Is on paper a corporation tourist agency that specializes in intergalactic vacationing. It is a front for at least one branch of an underground railroad. Our Karve members are from Idun system, which is the last Expanse system that seems to be okay with Supernats. As many,
Well, good.
Many other, most of the rest of the Expanse is like, well, we want to get in better with the core planets, and the core have outlawed Supernats in their systems, so let's also do that. Hence, the Eden folks have come out to Limos system, which was, founded by space Argonauts rather than space Vikings. And it is well on its way towards a Supernat purge, which which Karve is familiar with as it's happened elsewhere in the Expanse. So they're trying to figure out how to get all of these Supernats out of town before all the Supernats went from the great big Coruscant-style planet called Logoi onto a small piece of crap planet called Dysnomia, where there's a shipyard and not much else. So the Supernats like, yay, we don't have to live persecuted anymore, except that we'd be really easy to hit with a nuke. Meanwhile, while our Karve people were on Logoi, they found a giant wound in space and time in the undercity, and that really needs to be taken care of before everyone leaves.
It is a bunch of planets.
Otherwise becomes everyone's problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we'll get into some of that reasoning maybe tonight. We'll see. Oh, yeah, can you hear us? Okay. Arcane can hear us, I think.
I was just making sure,
Yeah.
'cause,
What? Are you saying something?
Dude, please don't mess with me like that right now. Okay?
Okay, there we go.
My heart cannot take tech issues.
Nope, we all sound good. I was just listening.
And, by the way, we're late because I had an excellent plan for doing stuff today before game, and then aphids attacked my chili pepper plants, and suddenly I had to give all of my plants an emergency bath. I could have just let my chili peppers all die for the sake of maintaining stream schedule, but oh well. So tonight, we are planning to run to about 10:30. And we'll have our 15-minute break in about an hour, 24 minutes. So, time your ramen escapades for that. Anyway.
Mine are tacos.
Alright, so getting to our actual players, because I'm just the GM, while I do some tallying of other things. Merc, who are you playing tonight?
I'm Merc. I play Idun, the Wolfblood. Probably the closest thing we get to human in this campaign. At least as far as player characters go. Dune is 6'4", built like a brick outhouse, spent a good 40 years-ish, 40 to 60 years as a mercenary, and when he's between mercenary jobs, a bar bouncer. That's what I want to say. And he joined up with Karve when it was first formed. When Karve was first formed, when Petruchio picked him up. It's not terribly long ago at this point in time, honestly. A couple of years maybe, but between 1 and 5 years. And he's been with Karve Tourism since the start. And it's worth noting that Petruchio is the I wouldn't say the brains. Okay, technically yes, he is. They are the brains of the operation, but they are also the one with the mandate for the Underground Railroad. They got it from a higher up, whom Dune does not know, and yeah.
I just watched that episode last night.
Yep.
Yes, Petruchio was voluntold by the Prince of the City. Well, you're under suspicion, so do this, and maybe I'll feel better about you.
Yeah, and Dune is also Eden City is full of wolf blood, so Dune is one of the unofficial werewolf blood mafia. A giant group of the giant group of wolf bloods who, they don't want to be part of a pack because wolf country is pretty traumatizing if you're not a werewolf, and honestly, sometimes even if you are. But there's a pack instinct, familial kind of thing. So they all hang out together, and yeah, he knows, all the rugby cousins, and that stuff, yes. But on Limos, he is just
human.
Huh?
Human.
Yep, human. With a really big cough gun that he brought in under the weapon scanners by taking it apart.
Yep. Yeah, Eden has open carry. Limos does not. Well, Logoi does not. Dysnomia, no one seems to care. Also, since it's full of Supernats who are more or less walking weapons themselves, it seems silly not to have open carry.
Yeah.
Anyway, Zardos...
Nothing to level the playing field like a pulse rifle if you're a human facing down a vampire or something.
Okay. Zardos, who are you playing tonight, and what name does he go by this time?
Oh, today I'm Holiday. I'm just a piano playing lawyer. I'll be fine.
So they shoot the piano player.
Okay. Fennec.
Sup, I'm Fennec. I'll be playing Isphere, the newest little burr, as it were, that got attached to this Motley's
sock.
She just came to the planet. She knows what Karve industry does because she does it on her own terms, just not affiliated with anybody.
Yeah, there are people who do that, especially freelance merchants.
I mean, medical supplies have to get there somehow.
Yeah.
If something tumbles out of medical supplies, I didn't package medical supplies. How was I to know?
Something just fell off the back of the spaceship,
Well, more specifically, if there was more than just medical supplies in that box, I didn't know.
Again, do I look like a merchant? I just pick it up, I take it to a place, I drop off and go to the next spot. That's all I do.
You're a transportation specialist.
Exactly.
Colloquial name, pick up and drop off.
Exactly. But
More puns!
I I can't take credit for that one. That one came from Car Talk.
Nice. But yeah, she's just here to help get Supernats off so they don't get nuked. And if she gets to punch a planet while doing so, sounds like a good time.
Thank you,
Phrasing.
Dave. Yeah, we have puns and phrasing here. Dave just bought a player +1. Oh, yes. So you can buy buffs and nerfs for the players. However, instead of using cash, we use channel points. So, players, you currently have, with Dave's, 23 +1s. The way we use an old LARP trick, because when we started this game, my players did not commonly have fistfuls of d10s. So you add all of your dots to one d10 roll, and we count successes 8, 11, 14. 5 successes is a 20 is an exceptional success. But of course, these assholes keep rolling like 30s. So, yeah, it's, you know. So it also means if you roll a 1, you botch. But I don't feel bad giving people who roll like this a 1 in 10 chance of botching. Because I also have a 1 in 10 chance of critting.
I still can't believe that this die wasted a 28 roll on schmoozing with the freaking security guards with farm stories. Did it help at any point in time in the future? No.
Well, I mean, it helped you be above suspicion when there was a Supernat attack at that gathering.
Fair.
What Supernat attack?
Also, I was just gonna say I also had nothing to do with that. I really was above suspicion for that one.
Yes, you were just there to steal the Supernat detector. Or rather, help someone else do it.
True, but I wasn't there to attack the party. And I actually had no part of attacking the party because I was human enough to be frozen with the rest of them when the huntsman came through.
Yep, yeah, funny story. The humans think that if they kick all the Supernats out of their systems, then there will be no more Supernat problems. Like, the hedge just disappears if you kick all the changelings out, right? Right?
They don't give a fuck.
And of course, ghosts aren't real, therefore you don't need werewolves.
Worked out well for us so far.
Well, close enough. We've had anti-Batman to help with anything that we really needed a werewolf on, so.
Well, in Eden.
In Eden, yes.
So you just gotta keep them asleep long enough to get them to anti-Batman.
That was, yeah, we actually did have somebody who may or may not have started melting in the rain because, anyway.
I'm almost done with that episode, actually.
I've been waiting to do that I was waiting to do that in any game for a very long time. Alright. Game notes. I have them. Alright, so last game, y'all ran a town hall meeting on Dysnomia. Going back over my notes, Dysnomia was a planet of about 20,000 people. But then once the Supernat, basically, Logoi put forth a law that magic spells were illegal. So anyone caught doing magic could be arrested, and a lot of people disappeared under suspicion.
How do they define magic?
They don't define it very clearly, weirdly enough. And the people they arrest don't seem to get trials. They just sort of disappear altogether.
That's fine.
Ironically, this led Petruchio to start an algorithm on, like, the city planning stuff to find, okay, where in the undercity could they be hiding a gulag? Which wasn't a bad idea, but it didn't lead them to a gulag. It led them to a plague pit, basically.
What they set it up for was looking for large areas that were off the grid, that they could, potentially be storing things in because they're relatively intact. And by God, did we find one? But that's not where they put it.
Just not the one they were looking for. Yes, but at the town hall meeting, Karve made their case for we can get you off planet.
But it has to be now because we're not coming back.
Yeah. And I think...
Well, not now, but,
the time frame Holiday gave was 2 weeks. And then after that, Mr. Aberlim, a very sweaty-looking vampire who doesn't like talking to large groups, but the prince voluntold him that this is his job now, so okay.
That seems to be a theme with princes.
Question.
Yes.
Sweaty vampire.
I've just rewatched, while I was cooking, I rewatched all of last episode, and the line came up, it's like, he looks like he wants to sweat, but he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he stuck around. Megara, who is the mage, because the one mage you met on Logoi proper, who was trying to like get all the other mages off planet, so found out about the wound and explained, at least in general terms, what kind of mage bullshit you would need, and sent y'all toward to find Megara on Dysnomia. Because this, you need a mage who is both a master of spirit and correspondence. Not that anyone knows what the fuck that means, because mage bullshit. And the resident mage who barely understands mage bullshit isn't even here right now, so.
Letter writing.
So, houseplants, because one of them is called Acanthus. And now they're all houseplants. So yeah, so that meeting disbanded. So the population of Dysnomia has gone from 20,000 people, of which it's unclear how many were Supernats, but probably some, because it seems like this place was much more chill than Logoi, because Supernat hatred didn't just happen overnight, or within a year. It's been building for decades at this point. The estimated current population is 40,000 people. So at least 20,000 Supernats and Supernat sympathizers.
Isn't the ship big enough to hold that many?
I looked into that. We will bring up that data when it comes up.
We spent a fair amount of experience points from everybody.
Well, that's the thing. Hollow, 1 point Hollow barely fits 6 people. A 2 point Hollow is, I quote, the size of a small town. But, well,
that seems a
we sunk in, I think, like 8
scale.
points.
Yeah, second ed Changeling the Lost is ridiculous.
I've noticed.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah, we each put 8 experience points into that ship, so
Yeah.
that was from like 5 of us. So that ship is pretty tricked out. So yes, if you don't mind becoming very good friends, we could probably fit 20,000 people or so in there.
Well, I did that math. We'll get to that number crunching when we get to the planning, because right now, so Megara is there, and the prince has buggered off, and Aberlim is still there, and a bunch of like werewolves and people who don't look like Supernats but could be mages, because mages aren't usually as open or as obvious. Some they might be vampires or they might be werewolves, you're not sure. But yeah, so,
I'm sure.
So of 40,000, there were only maybe a couple thousand people in this space, really packed in. But yeah, but people are going out to their community, their smaller communities, and
Spreading the word, essentially.
yeah, spreading the word. And getting the word around to people who weren't at the meeting who might want to go beat the shit out of something. Because you've got a wound surrounded by evil spirits, and only like 8 werewolves.
There, at least.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of
That'll be
werewolves, and so Tippy is bouncing around. She wants to hear about the wound, because she is a sparkly little, I think she has described herself as a mage to at least one person in this chat room. Yeah. So, just exudes light and exuberance and glitter and cute white Lolita outfit. But she's there, and Megara is sort of standing next to Aberlim, who is so, yes, a wound is a rift in space and time, and it's a little bit boring, and the werewolves are a little bored, but they're like, okay.
I mean, presumably the werewolves know.
Yeah.
And it's the other people who have been who are
Well, most of the mages and most of the werewolves seem to know what this is, so they're. But there are other people. There are other changelings sticking around, like the Summer and Nova Courts. Esphere, you sense shadows on the outskirts. It's probably the Night Court. They also like a good Rochambeau.
Yeah. She'll take a little bit of her shadow and like kind of wiggle it in a hand wave motion to the shadows she feels and then stops it.
Some of them wiggle back. It's adorable and very creepy. So yeah, there are changelings around. There are some vampires. Aberlim is haltingly explaining. So, yes, it's a rift in time and space, and, it's a rift between the mundane world and the Umbra, or the Hysil, or the Shadow, or whatever you call it. And, oh, have you guys explained to anyone that it's abyssal tainted?
we explained to the mages, but I don't think we explained that in the town hall meeting.
And so Megara is kind of, oh, and it seems to be influenced by the abyss as well, which is worse. And Aberlim, like, he hadn't heard this yet, and he's like, yes, so, yes, we definitely can't just leave it. At least one Summer Court changeling is like, why can't we just let it kill humans? Why do we have to deal with this bullshit?
Because if we don't deal with it, then the bullshit will expand out to eat this entire system, and it's not just the humans here. Besides, the place would become uninhabitable, and there's no guarantee that it would not stop at jumping through the gates itself, as I have been through both the gates and the wound, and they have a very similar sort of feeling.
No.
Oh.
The wound feels like the goose. The gates feel like the gates.
Oh.
The gates
I thought they
feel
felt
like
I thought they felt like the bullshit Dracus was pulling at one point, and that was what I was.
They feel like Klaus. The wound the gates feel like Klaus.
Mm-hmm.
The wound feels like the goose. These are two different awful feelings. Because at least the dread of death, that's horrible, but it's not unnatural. The abyss is wholly unnatural and alien and not supposed to be here.
Fair. But I still hold the opinion of the Death Gates, so... also...
Some of the mages are like, the Stygian gates are not abyssal, but...
Fair, but there's no guarantee that they won't jump through it. Can you guarantee that it won't?
Yes, because if you have a planet covered in the abyss and it is surrounded by space, which is also the abyss, that's very bad. And that's bad for everyone, not just humanity. Yes?
So when do we go to punch?
Soon? I think... unless someone has a better idea. And Megara's just like smiling patiently. He's like, "All right, it's me." Anyone who's So I understand mages, werewolves. This is more your territory than mine. I understand from stories and research that wounds often have a Maelgen, an evil spirit of great power residing.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
All right, so there is one.
There's
at least. Yeah. We saw a few contenders for the throne, and the big one that we saw got rather severely injured somehow. It was somewhat hectic, so I am unclear on the exact specifics of that one. So one of the others may have ascended in its place if it could not lick its wounds in time.
The werewolf was kind of like, guess that's how spirit ecosystems work. One of the werewolves said, so it's Magoths and shit?
It is so many Magoths and shit.
And the werewolf's like, and the mages are like,
It also has the ability to bend space and time around you. So you walk in one place, you'll come out someplace else.
Like Hitch?
No, not like the hedge.
The better or worse?
It's a different kind of annoyance.
Okay, that's fair. Like screaming toddler versus snoring man. Understood.
Yeah.
Fair. Although we will have some assistance from the local pack. I believe they are called the Crows, who have some experience in how to reverse the wound without becoming separated. And who will, I believe, be aiding us on our endeavor. They have some weaponry, but it's not a lot, and it's just enough for them.
The other thing to keep in mind inside this wound area, it will grab onto your worst personality traits and exemplify them. You will feel your beasts. You will feel your clarity slipping away. You will feel whatever the hell's wrong with mages. I don't know. I don't judge. It will try to turn you against the rest of us. This place was destroyed by a plague that turned people into monsters, violent psychopaths.
Yes.
It resonates that energy.
It was red plague breakout and then sealed off, I understand.
Yes.
Yes, that much trauma, massive amounts of mouse trauma, and some of them supernats that would cause that nightmare. Are you still in contact with the pack? That
Not at this distance, but we gave them communicators, which we did some sort of shenanigans with to ensure that they will be able to reach us for at least the next month. The wound affects the area around it and the technology around it to mislay and waylay messages and messengers. So we set up technology which should last for at least a month before it needs maintaining. And we will be able to contact and coordinate with them as soon as we are back on the planet. Possibly sooner, depending on if we have a relay.
Yes, that's what I was about to suggest. Well, I'm not aware of myself. And he kind of motions to the wolves gathering. I understand the culture enough to know it's best to alert them before bringing tens or hundreds of combatants into their territories. So we will.
We did tell them we were going to bring them, but yes, I take much your point.
Can anyone help with that? I guess please come to the stage when we're done. But yes, please spread this information amongst your compatriots. And tomorrow night, if this might be a lot of people, so let's if the highest ranking among the wolf tribes and the Fey courts and the mage traditions, and I guess I speak for the kindred, if everyone could take a reckoning of who's interested, that and then we'll reconvene tomorrow and with the
and who has weapons.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, many of these people are weapons, and the werewolf's like, yeah!
Yeah, Isfir just kind of wiggles her fingers where the claws would be. Although, do have sword on ship. I will have to get this before.
So,
that is fair, but I will note that spirit bullshit tends to favor specific sort of anti-spirit weapons and that sort of thing. Not they each have their own bullshit they particularly don't like, and if it's not their particular bullshit, they may ignore it depending on how powerful the spirit is. So I'm simply saying that with a wider selection available, we might have a better chance, as it were.
Oh yes, so I believe the general plan is that a bunch of people will go down and fight spirits while Megara and an improvised cabal of mages is going to actually close the wound. Megara's like, it's complicated, but put simply, yes. Megara again is this auburn-haired, thin woman who just seems to sort of float. You're not sure if she's actually floating or if she just has a very fluid manner of walking.
I believe that there will be possibly some werewolves who are more inclined to that sort of thing, also helping with the cabal. But beyond that, yes, that is correct in its essentials.
It would be more werewolves. No offense to the Forsaken, but which voice am I doing? No offense to the Forsaken, but werewolves cannot perform mage magic. Unfortunately, though we both have spirit spirit intercessor positions within our communities. So.
I was mostly thinking in conjunction to the wound itself, as opposed to the abyss, which is coming out of the middle of it.
Well, no, I have to address the entire wound itself. That includes the abyssal taint. Werewolves can't. Well, werewolves can close. Actually, could someone explain? And a werewolf gets up. She has tribal like tattoos and markings that show Gibbous Moon Iron Master. She's like, all right, this is how it works. In normal circumstances, traditional circumstances where humans don't live in, megacities that rise miles into the air, if there's a wound, you close it by killing all the evil spirits and then revitalizing the area around it. If this is some hidden, lost part of the undercity, like, that second part isn't really gonna happen. But on the upside, it means no humans or feds around to, like, get in our way while we're doing shit.
Why didn't they let her speak? She's making this so much more easy to understand.
In point of fact, I would say that this will probably be the best chance that many people have to simply cut loose, because there won't be anybody here to stop us or be afraid of any sort of nonsense that humans like to do.
Yeah, like...
Which is weird coming from the humanist person present. Yeah.
Like, humans gotta...
You could be a mage.
Yeah. True. Yeah, like... everyone here on that colony is really willing to help out and build the colony, but a lot of us are fighters, and, like, we want to fight, so, yeah. But it's also a matter of who's going to be comfortable at going back to the planet, and who might want to stay here in case, worst case scenario, retaliation, and the humans attack us here. Because there's already people, like, talking out loud. It's like, what if this is all a trap by the humans? Even though, like, there's a lot of humans I hear about, like, using technology to copy Supernat bullshit, but, like, they can't make a holographic wound.
Yet.
Yet. That's, I think, the scariest bit, is if the humans find it and try to replicate it, and then, the entire galaxy is fucked. Rawr and rawr, said the werewolves.
In an unfun sort of way, yes. Even more so than if the true phase showed up again.
And the changelings get very quiet and are just
they tend not to collapse planets into black holes. So
how would you know?
Well, presumably with a number of inhabited planets and what we've seen of them so far, from my anecdotal evidence, I can say that the ones we've encountered did not want to collapse planets into black holes. Perhaps that is their end goal, collapsing the entire universe into a huge black hole where there's nothing, but I don't know.
The changelings are very quiet, and S-Sphere, you sense unhappiness at this line of conversation from the shadowy parts of the room.
Right, so back to hole-in planet that needs to be plugged up. We go in, we fight, we shut it down, everything good.
Yes.
Then we pick up the last few stragglers that are still on Logoi. I try and get some legislation passed to make this colony not, a target. We find the last group of the prison. We get the fuck out of the system before the humans know what's going on.
Yes, Mr. Masterson? I'm sorry, which is your real name? Which name would you like me to use?
Masterson's fine.
It's Mr. Masterson. If I could see some of your notes on that, I would appreciate it.
On the legislation, I believe.
Legislation. And
I'll give him a copy.
we definitely have kindred on planet who are very adept at legal strategy. Although this is a bit beyond them, but well.
Yeah, he was about to get from the changeling lawyer.
Well, I mean, they haven't done it yet, but they also no longer have ins with the government. And he kind of looks around very suddenly like, oh shit, did someone hear me say that? Well, it's true.
Isphere just chuckles. Oh, you mean government that decided to outlaw magic and say fuck supernaturals no longer wants to work with supernat? How strange.
No, it's worse than that. The vampire prince on Logoi is a fucking nut bar.
Yes, he's awful.
And I don't see him. He's not getting on the boat. The people who decided to hang out with him on Logoi are not getting on the boat. They're not leaving with us. So
is he not coming with us? How awful.
I believe he will be more than happy to catch whatever hellfire comes raining down on the remaining Supernats on Logoi when this all explodes.
Still, I will say that the way we encountered the wound in the first place is that we were looking for the secret prison where they are sending their arrestees who are receiving no trial. So we've still got programs looking for that one.
Yes, well, I don't think it matters at this point. Many kindred, how should I say, cultivate friends in high places. It's how we do things. It's how we've always done things. Many of these friends have either gone completely against their old friends or are among the missing.
Perhaps it's on ship, not on planet, but that is another story for another day.
Yes,
that's tomorrow's problem.
Yes.
All right, so
one at a time, I believe.
If everyone could go talk amongst yourselves in your communities, and we'll reconvene here at 6 p.m. tomorrow, and we will start with your representatives, and we will start crunching numbers.
Sounds good.
Wait, hold on, let me check my notes to make sure there's nothing else we need to talk about. Oh yes, Ms. Shaw and Liz is there, the summer queen. She's like, yeah, and I suppose we should also get started on the logistics of the move.
Yes.
So, everyone, if your representatives could also get a sense of who wants to leave. You do not have to fight in the wound to be eligible to leave the system, I think is what we're going with, yes?
Correct.
That is correct.
Not everyone is a combatant, myself included.
Yes.
I believe it was mentioned that there is a hollow on your ship.
Yes.
If Ms. Shaw could, well, Ms. Shaw, would you do me the favor of taking a look at that and getting a sense of how much space we have to work with? And Liz just nods like, all right. So, yes, because I suspect the numbers on that will be much, much bigger. And also someone could come up and see if we could boost our signal and talk to the crows. That would be most helpful for figuring things out. Okay. Well, some of you, I will see you here tomorrow.
Indeed.
Sounds good.
At this point, wait, I lost an NPC.
Oh no, come back!
Oh, there we go. So basically, as the meeting adjourns, people start working out. Someone just pops into vision, in front of the stage, and Aberlin is a bit shaken. It's like, oh, Tobias. Oh. Dune and Holiday, I don't remember if you met Tobias, but they are Petruchio's main contact on this planet.
I don't think so.
I don't think I met him.
Yeah, so, okay. So, wait, did I write down... Oh, okay, Tobias, he, him. Hey! So, like, I can do hacksaws. Because Petruchio is probably gonna have to go out and talk to all the vampity vamps. And Aberlin is like, just, at Kindred, whatever. Yeah, so I can do hacksaws and techie stuff. Hi, you're Karve. I'm Tobias. I'm technically also part of Karve. Off the books.
Fair enough.
Hey.
I have met a number of others, such as yourself, who are technically part of Karve. I will say that I think the only tech thing we have currently going on is the connection to the crows.
Yeah, that's what they just said in the meeting.
Yes.
Which I was there for. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I'm simply saying that there's nothing, as far as I know, that we need particularly technical beyond that, unless the lawyer would like your assistance in perhaps the legal system or something. I don't know. But
now is not a good time to hacksaw the government. Especially not from here, because they, any excuse they have to nuke us is...
We left the crows with short-range transmitter, I believe, was the only thing we could rig up. But I believe we left the receiver with David on the planet, whom I believe you're familiar with, perhaps?
Yeah, the
thin
mage
white
guy.
dude. Yes.
Yeah, the mage dude.
Yes.
So
I believe that he will be our point of connection to the crows if and know when it is required.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we could update them with the current situation.
Yeah, like, we should tell them when we're coming. Werewolves don't like it when you don't tell them when you're coming.
I was wondering if we should update them now with when we are coming, or later when we'll know when we are coming and with how many, as opposed to simply now, which is we're coming with a bunch of people. How many, we're not sure, because they haven't...
Okay. So you guys you two have actually been there.
Yes.
So you two have seen it. The crows know what's going on right now. Those two variables together makes it easier for us to figure out who's going, who should practice what, who should suit up what.
Fair enough.
Before we go.
That was the part I was missing, as I thought that the only variables to who was coming was willingness and perhaps just willingness, honestly.
Yeah, because it sounds like these... Well, that's the thing. It sounds like... So, like, this is a mage and werewolf problem, so they're used to mages and werewolves, but have they ever fought changelings or vampires?
I did not enjoy the experience of fighting with changelings.
Awesome. And also, who knows? Maybe all the evil spirits just consumed each other and are dead now and everything's fine, but probably not.
I'd like the outlook. Very optimistic. Unrealistic, but optimistic. Very good.
Yeah, more.
If they all consumed each other, we'd have one to deal with, that's true, but that one would be very much to deal with.
Yeah.
I do not know much about spirits, but if they all kill each other, don't they just, like, it kind of makes, like, a coagulation motion, and then they get really big and...
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Especially when you get the odd sorts mixing together, like pestilence spirits and the spirits of technology. Very odd, that one. But...
I think they just call it computer vipers.
Cute. Cute joke.
A friend had a story about that once. Yeah. Anyway, Tobias is like, just sort of looks like a skinny, nondescript dude, with a little beanie, and like a kind of a, instead of having a wrist pad hookup, it's actually just a computer in his forearm. Touch screen. So
fair enough.
like,
I believe step one would be connecting to the thin white duke, so I believe that would be the first step.
All right. We can go to my my place and start working on that.
If you would mind waiting a few moments for the Queen to join us, we can go to our ship and simply go from there.
Ah, okay, cool.
Birds and stones, as it were.
Liz is still here. She's like, yes. I would like to inspect the hollow before we start figuring things out.
Especially because that will probably be the same way that we take people to the planet, as it is
Yes.
not scannable by any sort of technology they have.
We can hope.
As far as we know.
Raises a finger. Does Hollow make room for ship? I have my ship. I'm not leaving ship.
Well,
We're coming back.
Let's all take a look.
Oh, she means like for the final yeet.
Yeah, like I said, we're coming back for the final eat, so you can just take your ship and follow.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Convoy!
All right. So, because I mean, the blueprint, the sad press is probably coming with us at that point too.
Yeah.
So yes, we take Tobias and we take Liz and we all troop back to the ship, I guess.
Liz actually says, what is your name again? She asks the Shadow Court girl. Yes.
Me? Oh, Isfir.
Yes, I suspect the Night Court will also want to, Fight, yes. You should come too. And then one of their own... I mean, I understand the Night Court's reticence to work with others, but so if one of their own people has also seen what's going on, I think they'll be more inclined to work with us.
I thought I was invited already, but alright.
Alright, come on. She just follows along.
She comes along.
There
Waves, shadow waves to the other shadows.
The other shadows are slowly drifting out, but at least a couple wave back.
Right. Troop back to the ship.
I don't know, there's a weird conversation going on in the chat.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I think they're meaning like cocktails.
Oh, Arcane the Sage.
That's what I
thought
got
when
from
spirits
it.
tangle like that, they can be put into a bottle and sold at a bar. Nope. Not wrong kind of mixer.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
Hopefully by next game, I'll have an overlay that actually has chat on the screen. But that did not happen this week because I applied to 20 new jobs.
It's fine.
Yep.
My
yeah,
brain was a little broken. Alright, so yep, you make way onto the ship.
Yep, we head back to the ship. I think we have to like cross a couple of...
Yeah, and the medical droid is still in his little medical area, and he's like, "Greetings. Do you require medical assistance?"
We do not, I say as I put my respirator on the rack, I believe.
You can hold on to it. It's like, you can hold on to it, that's fine.
Fair. I figured it was the respirators or the charge packs, so we switch out at like that point.
They have both. So, are you all planning to leave the planet right now?
No, we'll be back along this way. I thought it was
Alright,
simply a sort of thing.
You can hang on to it, that's fine. Just, please return it before you depart the planet.
Very well.
We don't have an infinite number of them.
Indeed. Although it helps that half the people there don't need them.
Not half.
Not half, but a number of people there don't need them.
Yeah, so...
So, walk up to our ship, the unnamed and unassuming.
Oh, I still have to do that too. Okay, yes. For months, we had a 1,000 point channel point thing where you could suggest another name for the spaceship. And then I was going to compile all of them and have the players vote on them, but I haven't done the second part yet.
I like the unassuming. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I was about to drop that as a name, like the unnamed and unassuming.
Ask us about our smuggling rates.
Your ad space here.
It was a privateer ship.
Yeah. I can't whistle, but Isfir lets out a very impressed whistle as she looks around. Not bad. I like.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I believe the entrance to the hollow is like a cabinet with some vines growing out of it.
Yeah. At this point, the vines are probably starting to grow out of the cabinet.
Again.
That is
'Cause
changing.
That's how I figured out it was the entrance in the first place, because there were vines growing out of a cabinet in space, which is odd.
No,
Which was odd.
no, this was on a planet. It was on Eden when you first found it.
Yes.
Not in space.
Yes.
You were on a planet.
Yes, we were on a planet,
Yes.
but we were in a spaceship,
Yeah.
which is not usually a place you find vines growing. Anyway.
So, yep. You walk in. Esphere, something squitches up next to you and goes.
Looks down.
It is.
It is Jellycat.
It's
Good to see you again, Jellycat.
It looks like a cat made of jello.
Maybe
Part cat, part jellyfish.
Okay. She does that like squat with like the hands on the knees and just peeks at it.
Boop. You try to boop it and it actually like goes in a little bit and there's a sting. Not enough to do damage, but it's like, oh, okay. It is part jellyfish.
I should warn you that it is faintly toxic, at least when it is at rest. It can be very toxic if it has the mind to be.
It
Rich,
squishes
no
away.
boobs. Very cute.
I should warn you before you enter the hollow, I say, turning to
Floof?
the two,
Floof?
the queen and the...
And
yes.
There's also something that looks like a teal ferret that is peeking at you from a shelf, kind of in that rodent on its hind legs going, Floof?
She'll just put out her hand like this for it to skitter onto.
It's Floof, and it floofs onto your hand.
Yes. So as I was saying, before you go into the hollow, I feel it is worth knowing that we do keep, as far as I am aware, at least one more pet, as it were, in the hollow. The aquamarine dragon, what eats people?
Would I know this to be a hedge beast?
Maybe. You don't see it. Dragons are usually hedge beasts, but it's a big galaxy. And people do weird things with genetics because they get bored.
As evidenced by the floof, which is not a hedge beast.
Floof?
She's just scritching it.
Yeah, the floof is mundane. It is you've heard of these. They're like couture pets.
Imagine worm on a string but alive.
It's very cute. She's just like scritching it.
And this one is teal, probably to go with someone's color palette of outfits.
Gives it a little boop. You're very adorable.
Floof!
I'm going to put you down now, alright?
Floof!
Okay. Sets down.
I thought it was bigger than that. I thought it was like a mink skull kind of size.
It is.
Oh well, if it's wrapped, like it could probably be wrapped around her arm and then part of it like perched up.
Okay,
like that on
It's
her
basically
hand.
a living stole. Whether or not that's more humane, who knows?
Yeah,
just,
but
as I recall, the lady's wearing like a
gently-
scarf. Puka had to steal it off her neck.
Yeah, she just very gently sets it down onto the floor and lets it, skitter off.
Floof, floof. Dune, you still have a dog in your pocket?
Yep, the Pomeranian and the jelly kitten.
And a tinier jelly cat.
In a little jelly hat. No.
Yeah, a little jelly hat. The jelly kitten kind of squishes out of your jacket pocket and wants to be out in the spaceship.
Alright, I will let it down onto the floor. If the bigger one eats you, I'm not responsible. Remember to stay out of its way.
And it just
So
squishes
on
away.
top of
And now the
smuggling, you
top
run-
hat is on its head, like, properly.
So outside of smuggling, you run petting zoo.
No, this particular run has simply been... There are a lot of mistreated animals on Logoi. I don't know if you've noticed. I'll reach in and I will pull out the Pomeranian.
So
People were using them as living ornamentations at a party that we attended for various other reasons. We decided it would be more humane to bring them with us.
So you are SSPCA, Supernatural Society Protection from Cruelty to Animals.
I mean, is it really... We are for the prevention of cruelty to many things, not just animals.
I will have to work on acronym. Give me time to workshop.
Fair enough. So,
The palm also wants down.
okay.
He wants to run around the ship. Because he's
She.
been in a pocket all day.
But yes.
She wants to be running around. And
Duchess.
Duchess, yes. She actually walks over to investigate the jellycat, but not in an aggressive way, just like, what the heck is this?
Yep. I will point out the... Well, I'll look at Holiday. So, if you would you prefer to show our guests around the hollow, or would you prefer to assist our current hacker in dealing with communications?
I don't do computer stuff, so I'll look at S-Sphere and open the door.
All right, in that case, I will go with Tobias. I'll show Tobias to the bridge, and then do not help him and just clean my guns because I don't do computers either.
Isphere will look at Holiday. They are aware that you are changeling do changeling bullshit, not tech bull. I mean, you can do tech bullshit as changeling, but it makes more sense for changeling to do changeling bullshit than tech bullshit.
Here's the thing: looking at Holiday doesn't look like a changeling. Holiday reads as a normal plain human.
Oh no, but he took
But
his
you
mask
did
off.
the
Yeah.
mask taking off,
Yeah.
so she knows you're a changeling.
Right, but the door doesn't know that. The door does not register because I have dull beacon.
Oh.
I cannot open the hedge door into the hollow.
Yeah, and
Oh.
Dune can't either because Dune is in fact not any kind of changeling. But also Dune is also I'm mostly asking Holly because I wasn't sure if he wanted to like do other kind of lawyery bullshit while he was on the
That's fair.
phone. Well, he had access to a phone, or if he wanted to go through the hollow with the queen. Like that was up to him.
Isphere's tail just swishes so to His Majesty, do you want to rank before
Oh, for goodness sakes. And she just opens the door and walks in.
I don't normally deal with other courts. I don't know how they do it.
That's
Problems.
fine, just come on. Let's go. Goodness gracious.
I think we decided the internal layout looked like a very, very nicely appointed space station.
Did it? Okay.
That was sort of the idea that Sungrazer and Patricio and I had, was that the inside of it looked like a space station with just infinite amounts of corridors that we haven't actually gone through and looked at.
Okay, I don't remember that, but we'll go with that. That's fine.
The way it looked originally when you described it was the inside, like it when we opened the door and went through, it was basically a copy of the ship we already had, but
Yeah.
mossy.
Yeah. So it's got that it's definitely, so it's that but bigger now, and there corridors and rooms and the size of a small town but going out in at least 4 dimensions if not more. And everything is kind of weirdly like mossy, and there's vines and so it's like a space station with the hydroponics gone
Crazy.
ridiculous. Yes. Overrun by hydroponics.
hydroponics?
And again, it starts with a room that looks like the one you just left, only on one of the couches there's a big aquamarine colored dragon that's just sort of snoozing. And he has taken up the entire couch and then some. And
Isphere can't help herself. She'll go over and just like peek at it.
it opens one aquamarine crystal eye, and smoke curls out of its nostrils, and it starts not growling, but it's like it's lifting its lips to show all of the teeths.
Your friends Dune Holiday said we could come in. We're here to check out because smuggling people off of planet.
Grrr, and it just starts growing. But
I'll let you go back to sleep.
It lowers its lips, but is still like watching you. It doesn't. Holiday, you think it recognizes you?
Yeah.
So.
Right. Have a good nap. You're very pretty.
But technically, it is Sungrazer's pet, I think.
Petruchio's.
Oh, it's
He might-
Petruchio's. Okay.
Petruchio was
Resist
the one
the
who
urge
dominated
to
this
poop.
thing.
Yeah, resist that urge this time.
She kind of, her hand goes up and then down. Yes, very scary teeth. I have them too.
So many teeths.
She still thinks it's cute,
Yeah,
but
nope.
she'll go to follow after the queen and just kind of whistle. This is Big Hollow.
Yes, this is enormous.
Gun storage, goblin fruit storage, blood storage, whatever the mage bullshit storage is over there.
My understanding is that magi, they can sometimes store their arcane energy in objects. But...
There's a box of them right over there.
All right.
We picked them up. We picked them up in on Eden before we left.
There is one room that is door is shut, and this like it's got a tape label on it going booze storage. That's where Dune's been keeping his moonshine stocks.
She just kind of walks over and looks at,
The paper is now grown over with lichens, but you can still read it.
and it says, what did it say? Boon storage?
Booze storage.
Food storage. Okay, she can't help it. She like peeks in because,
Just barrels and barrels of something.
all right, I'm living here. I'm moving in now. This is just this is my room.
Fadir said, not a cabinet, a cabernet.
As long as it's not a what do you call it? Not cabaret. What? I don't remember. Sorry, the Italian word for policeman starts with a C, but I can't remember the top of my head.
I don't remember it either. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, so, yeah, Liz is kind of leading this tour. Oh, shit. So this is an expanded hollow, so this is easily the size of a small town.
We didn't get to the point of we were putting in gardens yet because realistically, for the three of us, it wasn't necessary.
All right. Well, I don't think we'll need to plant a garden if we're just using this to escape.
Yeah.
I'm not sure everyone... Well, I mean, first we'll get the numbers. I guess an impromptu census. It will be a tight fit, but not impossible.
Worst comes to worst, I don't know. She has like a small size smuggling ship. I don't know how many people that could fit, but like, she's assuming Isphere's like, if other night courts do not wish to come, they can hop
There
on my
are
ship.
corridors, there are rooms, there are like big kind of promenade type areas, but like there are things that could be shops, but they're empty.
Yeah.
There are things that look like crew quarters, but they're also empty.
So lots of spots to put beds if needed.
Yeah, but they
Okay.
weren't automatically in here.
Yeah.
Although there are places that are so overgrown with vines that someone could probably just fall asleep there, but then what do the vines do to you?
They make you a
And I
nice
mean-
hammock.
And I mean that really, like you want to have like it's you're not everyone is going to be sleeping at the same time, especially if you manage to, hot bunk it basically.
Yeah.
So you can get 4 people to a room with 1 bed.
Also, given the shanty town you just seen, like they probably got their own stuff.
Yeah.
And this is probably nicer than the shantytown we were in.
Yeah, this is the shantytown is kind of dirty and dusty
Like,
because it was
yeah.
not really. The shantytown was a warehouse that hadn't been used very much for a few decades, so yeah, this is cleaner, and there is that kind of pleasant smell of greenery that makes it feel almost kind of like you're outside, but not. So no thorns. Although sometimes there's a window and you look out into what seems like a patch of thorns, which is, but it's not.
That's
inside.
what-
They're not inside, it's fine.
I mean, the big aquamarine dragon what eats people is a hedge beast, so it can be used, possibly convinced to eat anything that really needs to be
Bad.
trimmed.
If you can convince it that it is a people, or if you convince it that the hedge is people, it might eat it.
So I think we could fit, I don't know, probably most of the people who want to come, right?
First, let's possibly... we'll have to crunch the numbers first, but... From what I'm seeing... I'd say about 2,000 people could live here comfortably. There's considerably more than that on Dysnomia, but again, we'll have to figure out the numbers.
And I mean, the keywords there are live here and comfortably, because
Yeah,
you can
indeed.
cram, you can cram 15 people in a pinot, as long as you're not going terribly far.
Yeah. I do not think comfortably is objective. There we go. There is word. Sometimes it is hard. Words are hard. But if we want to get out everybody who wants to get out before, hedge forbid humans decide to play with their red buttons, we could probably fit more than 2,000.
Yes, I think so. It'll be tight, but I think we can do this.
Yeah. For reference, the record for, I believe, this might be an old record, but the record for the number of people crammed onto a single Boeing Super 747 is 1,000 people. So they were evacuating an area. So they were, cheek by jowl, but
you gotta get out.
Although we will have to work out scheduling and logistics because there is only one doorway and potentially tens of thousands of travelers, so that we will have that will be a lot of work.
Not it.
Well, no, apparently I'm it.
My suggestion: the people who are non-combatants go in first. They can move in, find places in the back, get packed, get themselves situated. People are going to have to get out of the ship before we get back to where we're going. Go in last.
Wait, you mean...
I thought the plan was we're gonna stack in combatants, go back to Logoi, combat, come back here, load everyone and leave, because the other thing we're loading on Logoi, like, we're gonna just combat, and then we're gonna load in any prisoners we find in the secret gulag, and then we're gonna come back here, load everyone else, and get the fuck out and not come back.
The point still stands that the people who don't need to be moving around and leaving the door don't need to be by the door, which means they can be loaded in first.
Oh, okay. So you're saying when we get back to load everybody up, non-combatants in first, combatants at the front, in case we need to do space battle. Got it.
Okay.
The people who can throw hands should probably be closest to the door so that they can
throw hands. That makes sense. I will take my own ship because, like I said, I'm very attached to ship.
You can't take it before we're going the first time because...
I mean when we lead off planet.
Yeah.
Besides, it might be good to find work with an actual company. Freelance gets boring after a while.
Might actually have a specific thing that you can do for that. There's a circle of changelings who are in the undercity who need their own private transportation. We were going to work out a deal for them to be in their own private section of the Hollow, but theoretically, if they're traveling on their own ship and aren't bothering anyone, they might be in a happier mood about it.
What they need is a Hollow.
Oh, okay.
So my ship is not a Hollow; it's a smuggling ship, so it has compartments for people to hide in, and
it is hollow, but it's not a hollow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it. Yeah. I can at least get them, well, they're probably going if they need Hollow.
Yeah, the Church of the Weird, that is the situation, that they didn't think they could get whatever this thing is has to stay in the Hollow.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Well, I can take whoever, if they need parts of Hollow, we can put whoever does not fit in Hollow because of this onto my ship. It is only about 4 or 5 people plus myself, so 6 person ship overall, but
you should probably get into contact with them at some point and find out what actually is happening with that.
That was a Petruchio thing.
Yep.
Because we don't speak for Petruchio, and he owns the ship.
Yep. By right of conquest, as granted to him by the Queen of Thorns from the bar, I think?
The Queen of Thorns put in a good word. I think it was it was in the territory of the Cosmic Courts. So Queen of Thorns put in a good word as like these guys beat the shit out of the thing that killed the privateers, and you know, given that they're part of an underground railroad, they could make use of this for good and not evil, and yeah. But the cosmic, so basically you guys had like finders keepers rights after the privateers were killed. And I think the courts offered you either a cash buyout or just give you the ship back, but they just wanted to study it first.
To be fair, we also killed like at least 2 privateers, so
Yeah, so they're like, yeah, they're fighting the good fight. And look, you're making use of it. Yay.
We smuggling.
I like that.
It's fear just drugs. I think I can tell, I mean, looking at everything, I can at least assure my fellow courtiers that no, you're not going to eat them.
I mean,
as you walk back toward past the dragon
what eats people?
is pretending to be asleep. Knows there are people
I will
here.
at least warn them about our gorgeous friend over here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that maybe we do want to send some combatants back with the first wave. I'm not there though. I'm on the bridge.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So meanwhile, Dune is on the bridge cleaning guns, and Tobias is what did he call the? It had a Norse name. I am blanking on the name of the AI, but the AI sounds like Holly. Vesemir? No. Not Mimir. That was another Norse god.
No, I don't remember, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, Josh, when you get back to game, maybe you'll tell us.
Yeah.
So yeah, so what's happening, dudes? And so Tobias is working with I think it was Sungrazer that actually had the gizmos. But we'll say that since none of these players are here this week, we'll just say that they are nearby, and the AI is okay with the AI wants to run like you know, virus checker or the equivalent on it first.
Right.
But,
no, we did leave one on planet with a thin white duke so that we could So if we can get hold of David, we can get a hold of through him and his repeater. Basically, we just turned to a repeater at that point. So like, you know, we called them, and then basically he would take the cell phones together or whatever, and we would just repeat through his thing to the crows.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry. I know how that works, but Doom does not know how that works.
Yeah. And that's basically what once the ship is okay with hooking this in, Tobias can hack a signal, but they do have to call up David first to have him turn his on.
Yep.
Hello.
So we need to get hold of the crows from this place in Dysnomia. To do so, we would like you to turn on your end of the device which we gave you to contact them, and we will go through that to get a signal to them. Otherwise, we cannot talk to them directly. Botch?
Yeah, Tobias botched. So David says okay.
I don't have. Do I have computers?
And it does not work. And
Tobias I have one dot in computers.
Tobias is not sure what he is doing wrong.
I will try computers.
Just had to roll for it, didn't I?
I guess. Should I roll computers intelligence or computers manipulation?
Computers intelligence.
Computers intelligence. Okay. To see if I can accidentally lean on the right button for him. And I can with an 8 exactly after dots.
Okay, so it's not so much pushing the wrong button; it's saying actually the IP address is off by 1 number.
Okay.
Or something weird like that happened, and Tobias like, oh, okay, and so it's a very weak signal. and there's several minutes of static, and then you say, hello, this is the crows.
Good evening, this is Idun. I'm calling from Logoi. No, I'm calling from Dysnomia. Sorry, I can remember where it is. Calling from Dysnomia. We have some volunteers, an indeterminate number at this point, to help try and close the wound. We managed to find a mage who can do it, and a cabal to assist in the endeavor. However, we are not sure how many combatants we need to bring. We have enthusiastic dissent from the more violent members of the packs here and the changeling courts, and I believe possibly even some of the embraced, as it were. But we need to know what the limits are, essentially, as to how many we need.
All right, hold on. Let me get Leroy. Hold on one moment.
Leroy Jenkins.
That's what happened. Yep.
Yep, he is in
Purchased
fact Leroy
NPC.
Jenkins. That's his name.
Purchased
love it.
NPC. So there's a few more minutes of static. And yeah, but also this like creepy uh-oh. Where'd everyone go?
We're here.
I'm here.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. My
What'd you
desk.
push?
I'm
Oh
not sure.
no. Okay, the stream's back.
Okay.
Hi, we're back. Sorry.
I don't know what just happened. All of the windows on my desktop didn't close, but they minimized all at once.
How rude.
So yeah, so I also rolled a 1 in real life. So and then so you hear static, but you also hear like it's a weird sound. I think by this point, by the time y'all finally got the hookup, the changelings and no, it was all changelings.
Changelings.
The changelings
Yeah,
come
they're all
back through the
changelings.
door,
That's it.
and it sounds like static, but also like almost as if you were listening to like thousands of screams from a very far distance away. But no, it must be just static, right?
Can we like insight that further?
Well, based on what you've heard of the wound bullshit,
Okay, so that'd
it's
be the
it sounds like there's some evil shit going on, and you're not sure if it's just, well, that's just what the static sounds like, or something else going on.
she'll look at the other chain. You're not hearing that, right? I'm not.
I mean, to be fair, you also hear on occasion like wolves howling in the distance. It's weird. But
Not really. You don't really hear the wolves on this feed.
not on the feed, but because Dune has the Phantom Pack thing, so like they're
okay.
just there in the distance
Yeah,
where
you're
he is.
Franz Blucher.
The-
Well, also
Love that movie.
you've started hearing more wolf howling in general on planet because the werewolves are talking,
Yeah.
and that's how werewolves talk, or at least how they respond to talking when they get excited.
This here just pinches our nose. So
Oh,
that we
good.
can go
Chat
down
can
the-
still see us. I didn't
Oh,
break.
good.
Also, I didn't click the end stream button, so that's good.
There you go.
Yay.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
Eventually, Sphere, you hear another voice. Hey, dudes! Like, so how are things going on Dysnomia?
Well, I suppose they could be construed as well, although I don't know if the huge bird had anything to do with anything. There was some sort of disturbance involving it.
A huge
Bird.
bird. Okay. Was it a spirit?
I believe it was some sort of leftover war crime entombed in the mountain.
So, like, are you guys, like, under attack?
Not currently, it was just the one. But still, it was something of a surprising setback. Still, as for the rest of it, we have some who are interested in leaving and some who are interested in helping.
Cool.
So we are trying to coordinate with how many people we might need to get a cabal of mages to the center of the wound. to close it, possibly.
Well, like hypothetical. So people want to help us with our hypothetical problem.
Exactly.
Cool.
I mean, if
Fucking
you're allowing
don't
us
say
to
anything,
punch
damn it.
things, we can.
So
I was gonna try and pretend that I was the only one there because I am technically pack and not herd, although not his pack.
nah, sorry.
Yeah, so he didn't have to happen.
Well,
It didn't have to happen.
There was also
a
there was also a very chatty vampire on the line. So
Fair. Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
Um,
So we have definitive people who might or might not be willing to help out with a hypothetical problem of that nature.
okay. Where did
We
my
have
notes
the
go?
interest of at least 3 of the changeling cults that I am aware of, and possibly more. I don't pretend to keep track of them particularly well. There's definitely interest from some of the local packs and from perhaps some of the embraced, although I do not know their traditions or any sort of thing well enough to tell exactly who would be in for it, as they say.
Okay, I think I can hear you, but it sounds like people want to help. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get all those words. There's bad news and there's worse news.
I love bad news.
Worst news first, then.
No, I think it works better if I just say the bad news first.
Okay.
The hypothetical. So hypothetically, when y'all were maybe down in some kind of weird place and you were fighting a bunch of stuff, hypothetically that was about 30% of the stuff that's in this hypothetical place.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, hypothetically, maybe the hypothetical bad guy, like, knows something's up. So, hypothetically, there's a lot of new spirits coming in to our hypothetical donut. And, but they're not fucking up, like, it doesn't... Hypothetically, they're not fucking us up. They're going into the middle of the donut. And
That's
then
hypothetically bad.
yeah, so
bring everyone is what I'm hearing.
So it might based on the hypothetical numbers, we try to stop these hypothetical problems when they arrive once we got a sense of the direction, but like so the stuff you hypothetically saw in the middle of the donut might be 10% of what's gonna be there hypothetically.
Hypothetically, if anyone was coming, perhaps they could bring some hypothetical weapons if you had any recommendations.
Hypothetical, well, hypothetically, they don't seem to understand how changeling bullshit works. So that seemed really effective.
Fair enough.
So more big ranged attacks would hypothetically be awesome.
Fair enough. Any sort of more mundane items, or were those particularly just the ones?
Well, hypothetically, since a lot of these monsters were hypothetically Supernats once, which I think we imparted on you when you were last here, hypothetically, they have all the frailties of standard Supernats, hypothetically. Or some of them do.
Fair enough.
So hypothetically, like cold iron and, quote, sun... Oh, you can't see me do air quotes because it's radio. So like sunlight and cold iron and anything else that I can't talk about without hurting myself.
Fair enough.
So, what's the worst news?
No, that was the worst news, is that hypothetically what y'all saw was 10%.
Oh, well, okay.
So hypothetically it's getting worse. Because hypothetically the donut monster knows some shit's up.
Hypothetically, most of Town Hall wanted to fight, so I do not think the problem.
Cool.
I would perhaps not indulge in too much overconfidence. I mean, as as many fighters as we have who are willing to cut loose, as it were, there is still very many outnumbered by the things that are down there. We shall see, however. Out of character, were we gonna go in 2 days or like the next day? What was our timeline for? Because 2 weeks was our timeline for getting everyone the fuck out.
2 weeks was the Exodus.
2 weeks to Exodus, and I think it was like 2 days or like the next night that we were gonna start pulling people in. Or...
So it's the same day as the town hall.
Yeah.
The Abralim guy was like, everyone talk to your people and get me numbers by tomorrow night.
Yes.
Because this is 40,000 people.
Yes.
So presumably so the next day is when y'all are gonna start number crunching and strategizing based on the accumulated intel.
Right.
And then from there you figure out, okay, how quickly can we mobilize and get back to the planet?
Yeah, but from the sound of it, faster would be better, so I would almost cut that third day of number crunching and see if we can go on noon the third day instead.
Well, no, the number crunching is tomorrow. Presumably, if the numbers work out, you could go the next day if you can figure out how to get that many people on your ship in one go. Because again, what Liz pointed out, well, you weren't there. I think Liz probably would have reiterated because she's yes. The problem isn't the space. The problem is the bottleneck.
So
that is the only entrance to the hollow, as far as I'm aware.
I have a question for you then, madame. I don't understand how changelings open doors and that sort of thing. Would a bigger place for you to open the door give you a bigger door? Say that if we replace the cabinet with a larger cabinet, could you still open the cabinet to the edge as it was the door, or is it just
yes.
that specific one?
Yes, but it would need to be much larger, and also you have to keep in mind changing the physical structure of this ship makes, well, I mean, depending on what you're thinking of, might affect the structural integrity of your ship.
I was simply thinking that perhaps we could install one of those rolling doors that you find on some storefronts or what have you on one of the walls, because it doesn't need to go anywhere in the regular world.
It does need to be a doorway.
It does need to be a doorway.
It does need, so, yes.
Fair.
So a larger cabinet might work, but then you would need whoever has built out this hollow to actually do that sort of magic correspondence stuff.
That'd be me and Sungrazer.
Yes.
I suppose that we could work on that tomorrow, as it were, while we were counting out the number of people who wish to go and fight.
Mm-hmm.
Still, the situation does appear to be getting more urgent, as the longer we wait, the more we will have to fight when we get there.
Indeed.
Which, given that our last encounter was in the low thousands with these things, does not, as they say, lend a sense of confidence to the proceedings.
Yes.
So,
well, on the other hand, it sounds like the last time you went, you were taken by surprise. This time we have time to plan.
That is true and correct, but the opposite is true. The same is true for our opposites as well, as is evidenced by the fact that they are, in fact, planning, as it seems.
Hey,
in so much as spirits can plan.
Do you guys need me for anything else? Because I gotta go back and patrol the donut.
No, I think that is sufficient. We will try and get to you either the day after tomorrow or the day after that. We are trying our best to compress the timeline, but we should...
Then can you just tell me stuff tomorrow?
We will tell you more stuff tomorrow. Whether or not it will be the next day or the day after, we will come.
Okay, so like this time tomorrow?
Yes, we will tell you this time tomorrow. The whatever is decided in the time sense.
Okay. Well, if none of us are here at this time tomorrow, then we're already dead. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Stay hypothetically alive, Leroy.
Will do, man. Will do. You too, man. Woohoo. Perfect.
Right. So time to go talk to our friends and see who's coming.
Okay, so now it is time for our 10-minute break. I guess while we are on break, players, think of anything else you want to do for the next 20 hours or so, 22 hours. And if there's nothing anyone wants to do in particular, then we'll just fast forward to the next meeting.
Okay.
But chat, while we're on, so we're gonna take a 10-minute break. Chat, go get yourself a drink, go make yourself some instant ramen.
Or tacos like me.
go bathe your pepper plants and squish aphids. You know, whatever you gotta do. And we'll see you in 10 minutes. Oh, and spend channel points. You can spend channel points while we're on break. Bye!
Do that. Bye!
Oh, and join the Discord. Join the Discord. Discord! Because
join the group Discord.
that's where I get to edit messages so they actually make sense, unlike when I'm just spewing things on the internet live. So yeah, we'll see you in 10, chat. Bye!
Bye!
Hello chat, we are back. This is Magic Fish Radio, and we run tabletop RPG streams on Tuesdays and Saturday nights. And it is Exit to Eden, our ongoing New World of Darkness in Space campaign. If you're interested in doing something like this yourself for your own home game, I blatantly copied someone else's version of this, but it all comes from a series of books called Mirrors, which were supplements for NWoD, which, one was space opera, like, what if you want to run a World of Darkness game as a space opera? Another was cyberpunk. Another was post-apocalypse, which comprised a series of, you know, Atom Bomb, or what happens if humanity found out about Supernats in the normal world, and this one kind of smooshes a bunch of those together. So when we last left our protagonists, they had just heard that our protagonists are currently figuring out how to mobilize a bunch of Supernats on a refugee colony to go back to the planet they just escaped to close a wound in the shadow world that might be abyssally tainted. And they just got the bad news from the werewolves that are down there, hypothetically, that the male djinn, or whatever it is, community of spirits, the male djinn, maybe they're the same thing, it's whole weird spirit ecosystem court bullshit, seems to be increasing its forces as if it has a feeling something bad's gonna happen to it. And it usually likes being the bad thing that happens to other people.
Slacker.
A bad feeling about this.
So, yeah. So, it is sometime that night. Y'all have, Liz has departed, unless anyone wants to talk to her in particular for a bit longer, because she just took a look at the hollow in your spaceship, or the changeling hedge hollow in your spaceship, which is not a normal thing, which you're going to use to smuggle a whole bunch of people.
NPC drop.
I was gonna say, Chris, did you turn off the NPC drop? Because you might. This one is, yeah.
Oh, okay. I did put a limit on the NPC drop because I'm still working through the last few weeks of that. Giant aphid barbecue cart operator. God damn it.
That's just mean.
That's mean.
He only does sweet style barbecue sauce. No savory.
Yeah.
Or spicy. Because capsaicin.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised I find them on my chili pepper plants. Maybe it's because they're still young.
I mean, yeah, the capsaicin's in the fruit,
Sure.
not the.
But I haven't had a problem with this before. I don't know. Yeah.
Again, just release the ladybugs.
I don't know. I'm 15 stories up and it's a very tiny balcony, and that's gonna get weird.
It's fine.
Also, getting ladybugs mailed to me in New York City is awkward. Fadier, it might be one person? I forget. I think it made it at least one per person. And maybe capped at 3. Also, there might be a delay on it, so I don't get overwhelmed.
Reward is on cooldown. Check back for it later.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So, I put some limits. I put in some insurance. So, y'all budget your NPCs now, okay? So, yeah, Liz has departed. Esphere is wherever Esphere... So, what are y'all doing between now and, the next meeting?
Esphere was gonna go find the night court hangout and go talk to them and get a sense of numbers, because she has a feeling at the next meeting she's gonna be the only one to speak for her court. So she may as well go take care of that business now.
There is... Where would the Shadow Court hang out?
Under a bridge.
No, there is,
Behind the school with the goth music and the cigarettes.
Actually, so there is a basement level to the warehouse.
Okay.
And some of the local
They have to share it with the Nosferatu and gang.
Well, no, the Nos have their own dome now.
I was making fun of the sewer dwellers.
Yeah, I got the joke.
Yep.
But I will make my way in there and do the secret knock.
Yeah, so you've been here a few days, and eventually Changelings told you, yeah, go to the basement. The
basement? Can they not get an attic? Space it up a little. The basement. Why always?
It's a dome. There isn't really an attic.
Oh no, this is just her mutterings as she's walking there.
But there's
an attic or a loft space. Something. There are shadows there. We don't always have to be underground. And anyways, knock, knock, knock.
Yep. There's like a side door down to the basement. The basement isn't as or the ceiling. The stairs don't go down as far as you would expect. So the basement is a pretty narrow, not very high ceilinged place, very musty, full of shadows, and yeah, the shadows literally reach out and grab you in. But you're used to this is your court, so that's like
yeah, she's just
LOL!
like wait, this isn't tentacles.
Once you are in the miasma of shadows, there actually seems to be like a light on, like just like one like pendant light, but it's pretty easy to see, and everyone's kind of creeping and skulking and talking about stuff.
All right. She'll grab like a chair, spin it around, sit on it, go like this. So we have things to discuss.
Yes, we do. Says there's a darkling kind of in the middle under the light. This poor little pendant light is having a terrible time trying to, but not every changeling has dark vision. So
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Esphere does.
It's a little counterproductive. Well, I mean, the Night Court doesn't often have meetings.
Yeah. Right.
So those who don't have dark vision usually just learn blind fighting, and like it all works out. But
yeah.
Yes. So there's a darkling with Let me check my notes. Blah blah blah. Notes. He is male presenting, and where Liz had kind of a crown of red and gold leaves, he has, and she had kind of like a circlet. This guy has like the kind of Nazgul straight up crown made of shadows.
Getting very strong Witch King of Angmar vibes.
Except this guy, he's not really as tall or imposing. He's more of a scraggly little creepy pale guy. Yes, you're the smuggler who came A few days ago.
Well, duh, I am. And I think in this environment, her mantle kind of comes out more, so the shadows kind of whip around her as more of like a cloak.
There's a shadow rave going on right now.
Yes, I am.
You can all barely see each other.
Into the royal.
Yeah.
Tentacles are just, doing the little glow stick dance.
So many tentacles. So many tentacles. Yes, so what we are discussing is how many of us are planning to go down to the planet to deal with this wound?
From what our new friends are saying, it is very bad. We should probably get rid of it before it kills all of us. So I figured, since most of you prefer not to, she kind of gestures to the whole very open persona that she does. I figured I'd get our numbers, I'd let them know that way, and then we, I can come back with meeting points and everything in times.
Well, I was planning to go. I mean, I was at the meeting today, just no one could see me. I am planning to go as a representative.
That is very
but
good, Your
Majesty. But if you want to speak instead, that is all. I would not mind.
I would not step on your toes.
But yes, I think the consensus is for our pretentious bullshit, we will send 113 representatives. That isn't all of us, but I think it would be wise for some to stay behind, both to plan the exodus, but also to defend this place in case the megacorps or the government decide to take advantage.
That is good. Smart planning, never to put all eggs in one basket.
But yes, we are monsters to fight monsters, so how could we not?
True. Coming from meeting, they said our changeling bullshit's very effective. They like long-range attacks. Which she kind of gestures to the obvious, tentacle rave going, we have covered.
Yes, werewolves are not... werewolves are better at hand-to-hand combat and hunting elusive prey, a little bit like us, but unless they have a gun, most of their attacks are not ranged.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds like most of the court is planning to leave, from what you are saying, after this.
Not most, but a nice sizable chunk. Probably not as many as the Summer and Nova courts. But they've kind of merged at this point. It's hard to track their numbers.
Well, separate one from other. I'm sure other planets have similar situations with winter and us.
So some people chuckle. Winter is about hiding for the sake of hiding. We bring out people's worst instincts. We embrace the role of being a monster to make us strong in the face of the real monsters, effectively making us the lesser evil. And a lot of people chuckle darkly at that.
Yes, well, I'd rather deal with you all than our other friends on the other side.
We feed off of disgust. So
Winter is just there to chillax.
This is true. This is true. I wonder...
No, sorry, that was...
Changeling who spoke. I'm sure I could do many things. Very powerful glamour getting off of him. That his future could be a problem.
I'm curious about this, the wound bringing out people's worst parts of themselves. That whoever survives might be delicious when they get out.
That is true. I want to report, I did go in their hovel. This is very nice. It looks exactly like their spaceship. Very big, could fit about 2,000 of us comfortably, but...
There will be more than 2,000.
Oh, there will be much more than 2,000. I am sure bug beds shall be, order of business in every corner.
Well, we already have all of our camping gear upstairs. So I don't see why we can't just move our shitty shanty town into a mobile hollow. I just hope this doesn't make us privateer bait, as Until now, I'd only heard of these ships through the privateers. And you're certain they are not privateers?
So I'm trying to remember how many. Let me take a look at my dots and something or other. With my Streetwise, where is it? With my specialty in Streetwise for black market, I would have heard of would I have heard of what Carver was doing? Basically, like being with the human smuggling and getting Supernats out, and that they're not.
That's not what privateer means.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, they say privateers mean something very specific for changelings that I'd say are, as a smuggling changeling, you don't even have to. Privateers are changelings that are still serving the Thurzas by kidnapping changelings back to Arcadia or selling or kidnapping humans to sell it to Arcadia, and they think that this is freedom.
That's wonderful.
They're antagonists.
I got that. I do not think they are going to use any routes that our privateer brethren, and you can obviously tell that word is spat out with venom, would frequent. It sounds to me, from my understanding, they are going to use the gates and, use well-traveled routes to get everyone to this Idun.
Very well, but keep your eyes open.
Of course, Your Majesty. We always have our eyes open.
Yes, and we are everywhere. And everyone's like, yay, we're creepy.
This is probably why we get along with Nosferatu so well.
Yes, they used to hang out down here with us, but now they have their own dome. Oh, because vampires have all the credits. Yeah. Everyone's sort of like, yeah.
Them hoity-toity vampires. She just chuckles. Well, all right. If there's nothing else, I will see you at meeting tomorrow. You and myself, and you said 113 local court members. I am not local, obviously, so I do not count. But I can at least let them know to expect that number.
Yes, that'll be fine. I will be in attendance, but maybe if you're there, I just won't be visible.
I look forward to it, Your Majesty. Whatever is comfortable for you.
Yes. May we all feast on the disgust of humanity as they embrace their own monsters. And everyone's like, yeah. And you get a sense that that's the phrase he uses to end most meetings.
She'll bow her head and then put the chair back and whistle at her shadows to come on, out of the pool. Let's go.
But Mom, what is there in place of words? Those are shadows. The shadows don't usually coil back. It's cool.
Nope, come on, we must go. Time to go back to the ship and speak with the boring changeling.
Yep, everyone's What's sad is he's Nova Court.
I think our personalities should swap.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so the meeting's kind of adjourned, but people are still hanging out and talking and skulking and creeping and trading, showing each other, oh, well, I've tried this weapon and it's awesome. I've used this thing to tempt humans into doing stupid shit and it's awesome. And
Could she try?
So it's a bit like Vampire Elysium, but they're all Night Court changelings and no one's really vying for political bullshit. They're all just, like Sewing Circle, but for evil. Or
I love it.
Lesser evil.
Sewing Circle for annoying the shit out of the humanity.
I think.
Okay, but I have to know, are they kind of like Crowley when he gets bored and he goes and he glues a quarter to the sidewalk or whatever?
Crowley did that?
Was in the book?
Oh, in the book.
Okay, that's where I haven't read the book in a couple months, so.
Yeah, at one point, he's bored and he's sitting there and he's glued a coin to the thing, and he's just, yes, this is me being a demon because it's causing a patina of sin on their souls as they try to covet they can't get it off.
The thing is, the Night Court doesn't feast on evil; it feasts on disgust. So they're often described as if you know the poem Goblin Market, those would have been the Night Court assholes. Tempting humans into doing shit they shouldn't. I mean, ultimately it could also be Hobbs, which are generally the ones doing deals in the hedge, but
Yeah.
So yeah, they do things that bring out the worst in people and make them feel the worst about themselves.
Yeah. Can Isphere like try and trade for like a silver weapon, since they said, you know, the Supernats weaknesses worked against these things really well? She's not going to go anywhere near cold iron, obviously.
Let me look at some stats. Let's make this manipulation and streetwise.
Can I use my black market specialty for an extra dot?
Sure.
Yay!
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, so that's 6 to add to the... My gosh, it's hard to roll in these.
Is that your streetwise skill spec?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Wait, I have your sheet right here. Let me just look at it.
I'm not even sure I did the sheet right, so you can yell at me or tell me later. Okay, so it's 12, so 1 success? Right?
11 is 2 successes.
Oh, so 2! I'm learning.
See your skill. Oh no, I see it now. Yep. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you could use. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but they will ask like, what? Why do you want a silver weapon?
So what I should have said in meet. I did. Did I say in meeting? But just so you can tell everybody.
Ooh,
The
all the
spirits are
shadows
going-
are what?
Okay, so spirits we go to fight were apparently supernats at one point, so they have supernat weaknesses.
Ooh.
So you know the bullshit cold iron, silver, wooden stakes, yada yada yada.
Ooh, and they're all like, ooh.
I would like to point out that that list also included sunlight, which might not be ooh for the Night Court.
It doesn't hurt. I don't think Night Court it hurts us in the same way it would a vampire.
I have
Which
to
is probably
like,
makes us uncomfortable. Like
they're
right.
Yeah, they definitely aren't fans of any sun. Let me double check the frailties.
I'm gonna point that one out.
Okay, she'll mention sunlight just to be like cover all the bases.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so they're like, sunlight. Some of them are a little like, you know, we could pack silver weapons, and several of them have cold iron weapons already. So it's like, all right, let's throw down.
All right,
and they,
great.
You know, thank you for telling us this because now we know exactly how to arm ourselves.
Well, what would be the point of not telling? If we're going to send 113 people, it is not sufficient for me to hide this from you.
Yes, thank you for the intelligence. And yeah, they're all like, now everyone's taking out their weapons. Like, well, this one's cold iron, this one's wood, this one, and like, yeah.
I mean, if they can get her other like stuff,
but yeah,
like,
this non-binary presenting, you think they're some kind of beast, but they're very slimy looking, so maybe like a lizard or a worm or something. She very happily she only has little knives, but she happily gives you a nice little silver knife.
It works. Tucks in the belt. I mean, they have claws, they've got swords, I now have a knife. I'm covered.
You have a little silver knife. It's not very big, but yeah, you know. But then they're, you know...
Do not poke Dune with it.
Actually, it wouldn't bother Dune, because Dune does not have the meat of the wolf.
But
that's a good point.
Would, you know, when you prick him, he does bleed fur. So there's that.
When you slice him, you get fur first, and then if you try it again, you'll get meat underneath that. But no, he does not have the tail of a wolf's meat, so he is not actually allergic to silver in the way werewolves are, and has in fact wielded silver in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to get the werewolf books and look them over full. I need to download and look them over fully because spoons have not been my friend.
It's all good. I mean, like the wolf blood section of the book is like 4 pages in the back, so you know, I didn't do very much research either.
It's fine, but yeah, now that she's dispersed her information, she'll go out and go back to the big ship that is unnamed and just tongue.
Holiday in Dune. There is someone knocking at the door unless you are not there.
I don't think I'm there. I don't know if Holiday is there.
I'll be there, sure.
You don't have to be. She could just be like, all right, bye.
Oh no,
I
I'll
mean,
be
the
there.
AI is there if neither of us are.
Well, the AI doesn't know that she's crew yet.
Fair.
I've officially not signed on
Yeah.
yet, so I'm
Yeah,
just
no.
a random hi.
I will open the door.
Right, hello. Just came back from night court. About 115 of us are going to go down with you and fight.
Okay.
That's right.
I figured not. You should probably know now, so not a big surprise come tomorrow.
That will help.
I also let them know about the supernatural weakness thing. They're very well armed for just about anything.
That's not disconcerting at all.
Oh, it's fine. We're your friends. We'd rather fight the, And she kind of makes a motion to the stars, like signifying true pay.
Hey, Holiday took one on once, and he won.
Right. So, I should probably go back to my ship unless I can bunk in your alcohol room.
It's not my alcohol room.
So that's a yes.
By all means.
Do you have hammock?
I think you can just sleep on the barrels. I don't think anyone will care.
Hammock between barrels. That's why you have nice cozy rocking while you drink.
No. You can sleep on the barrels.
You make this no fun.
This isn't supposed to be fun. This is violent and brutal and will likely get us all killed.
All right, fine. I will go get my weapons and then come back and bunk in your room on barrels like a savage.
Do you want to have a conversation with the Aquamarine dragon that eats people? I'm sure we can arrange that.
They were very cute, but no.
Anything else?
No, I go get weapons and come back. Clomp, 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 clomp. All right, so she'll get her like gear, like her sword and stuff, and her little hand gauntlet thingies, and then bunk down for the night in the ship, so that way she doesn't have to run around and find them in the morning should they need her.
So I would not drink any of that booze. That's a warning.
Go nuts.
I mean, can she make an insight check to see if it's gonna fuck her up really bad?
You saw it get a werewolf drunk. That is difficult to do. Yes, because I rewatched the whole thing. It got a werewolf drunk.
He pulled the thing out.
Werewolves don't get drunk. That's weird. Or that's strange. Weird means something else.
Yeah. 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 All right. She'll just poke it and be like, well, find a way to make the barrels comfortable.
Good fucking luck, because they're only like a butt, maybe. They're not the big 50-gallon barrel.
Okay.
They're the little keg, between.
Yeah.
They're either a keg or a butt. They're not huge.
So once she realizes that, she comes in, takes a look, fuck it, and goes and sleeps outside on the moss. Just like head under, like that, sleeps.
There's
makes
moss
her jacket
in there. Yep.
I mean, the moss is pretty comfy.
Yeah. She makes a moss bed.
Woohoo! Like the changelings of old.
Yeah.
After Esphere has settled into the hollow, there's another knock on the door. Holiday,
Wow.
You're muted. Or you
No,
were
he's
muted.
not.
No, he was like muttering
Okay.
without words.
I will open the door.
There is a boring, nondescript looking man in a suit. Hi! I'm John D., Publishers Clearinghouse 5000, and I'm here to award the crew of your ship 10 billion credits. Can I come in, please? And he's carrying one of those giant, like, cardboard checks.
Can I please see the paperwork for that?
And he, without missing a beat, hands you the forms.
I'll read through the forms in legalese and see what the hell this actually is.
I won't even make you roll for it because this is an NPC buy-in. To receive the 10 billion credits, you have to pay a tax of 999,999,999 credits.
So you get a credit.
You get a credit.
Get the fuck off.
No, you get 9 billion credits, but no.
No, it's you get 1 credit.
You get 1 credit because you have to pay the 9 billion in tax.
It's a lot of nines. It's in chat.
Yeah, it's in lines, but the thing is 10 billion and the tax starts at million, so like there is anyway. But no, it's not. It's totally a scam.
Also, it means like you have to give them access to your bank accounts, and then you have to do all the tax forms, and yeah.
Get the fuck off my ship.
All right. Thank you for your time, and it just walks away.
Try hard the next time. Pokes head back in.
If Adir meant you get 1 credit and give up all of your financial information.
Yeah.
I assume
That's not terrifying.
That's what
Fair.
that meant.
Yeah.
I have enough identities. That's a good luck, kids.
You have fun with that.
Yeah. So, oh no, you stole my identity. Which one?
Stick the real Captain Masterson with the 9 billion credit taxes and laugh all the way to the bank. Yeah. Good thing I'm not a bad person much.
I mean, that's too. I would not burn that particular. That one's too handy to burn like that. But one of the other ones maybe.
Mercy is the mark of great man. Well, I'm a decent man.
I guess I'm okay.
There's 2 Captain Mastersons. There's the real one, and then there's the one that I inserted into the system.
I was gonna say, yeah, the copy that you have that you showed off to everybody. That's not gonna bite us in the butt later.
No, totally not.
As Chris looks very innocent.
Yeah.
There's another knock at the door.
No, not tonight. There isn't.
Hmm.
It is.
You can read your law books in peace.
You have a report to write. Damn it.
Yeah, lots of reports to write and a lot of draft, which is suck. Dune, meanwhile, while Esphere went out to talk to the Night Court, Dune went out to see if he could find some wolf bloods, because while they can be hard to spot, there are some tells that are extremely obvious. So
Okay. Roll
The
a
love
dice.
for Michael J. Spock's Teen Wolf is a clear sign.
Yep.
Roll me wits and yeah, I'd say this is wits cult if you're specifically looking for wolf bloods.
okay, with my extra dot and werewolves.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Yep. All right. That is what I thought it was. Okay. Yep. First, I had to make this roll. Do. So that is an 8 plus 7 is 15.
Mm-hmm.
For 3 successes, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
That
Yeah.
beats the randomized difficulty I rolled. So
Fair.
so you're kind of looking around and kind of between there are still people working on the other domes.
Mm-hmm.
And you see there's still the Megacorp has the Omcom has their little water and first aid station.
Mm-hmm.
A bit between like that and kind of the entrance of the grounds that you find you see someone wearing kind of runes, like a guy just like in a leather jacket and like jeans. He's at a cart, like it looks like someone's operating a food cart.
Mm-hmm.
Except the person at the food cart is a giant green aphid bug. So weird kind of pear-shaped body. Yours maybe it's changeling, like your nose picking up changeling. Why it dropped its mask, you don't know. But like, okay. And so there's just this giant insect selling
Barbecue.
barbecue. And yeah, this guy is just gets like a thing of barbecue. And it doesn't look like he's gonna eat it here. He's gonna take it somewhere to eat it, and he's like, "Oh, hey."
Hey, good evening. I assume it's evening by this time because it was after dinner and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, Urundatakis.
What? Oh,
What?
is that like spirit speak?
Well, it's one out of character. It's a thing you told me that like all the wolves say to each other to recognize each other when we
Yeah,
first started
on
this thing.
Eden.
Oh. So, okay. So that was a setting specific thing and not a Forsaken specific thing. Okay, that was okay.
You found this out now, yeah. Apparently.
I wrote it down. Like I was like, oh, this is important. I'm going to use this later.
It's definitely important when you're on Eden.
Fair. Okay. So yes, it is. I suppose it is something we say to each other in Eden City to recognize a cousin, as it were, who is not wolf but still pack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I could tell by the tats. Yeah, hi. So what's up? Yeah, I mean there are wolf bloods around. It's just, we usually hang out with the werewolves. A lot of us are related to them, so we don't really want to be left behind in this system.
I know the feeling. Still, I had to come and speak to the wolf blood specifically. There are a lot of excuse me. That was on my fault. That was just bad. Anyway, there are a lot of wolf bloods in Eden City, but I should warn you, the city is not good for werewolves.
Okay, yeah, I think that came up at the meeting.
Right, correct. However, the countryside is not good for wolf bloods. The werewolves outside of Eden City are the sort of werewolves who see the herd as rather more animal than, something to be shepherded and directed and used, such as one might use a cow. So, if your pack chooses to stay in Eden, I need you to be aware of that and to tell the rest of the wolf bloods not to go outside the city, or they might find themselves with their own tattoos and the ownership of the local pack.
Oh, that sucks. Well, the wolves in the wolves in this system aren't that bad.
Right.
I'm not really part of a pack. I'm just like, my dad's a werewolf. So I'm here, and also like, if all the werewolves leave and one of us pops suddenly with a first change, like we're kind of fucked. So most of the wolf bloods, most of us that know wolf bloods are leaving too.
Indeed, I am simply asking you to pass the word that no wolf blood is to leave Eden City out to the countryside. They can leave the system as much as they like, but I recommend against going outside the city bounds.
Well, I was about to go, like, the werewolves are kind of having a moot right now. So I was about to go check that out and see where they are with their because they want to fight. Like, they want to fight a lot.
I'd be more than happy to come with you. I simply want to make that one clear because the wolves can take care of themselves for much of the unpleasantness outside the city.
That's good to know, though, because I mean, some people can be assholes. The wolves, like, the local wolves here are not like that, but yeah, if they want to move to wolf country and take their family with them, then this is definitely an issue. So yeah, let's go, because that's why I picked up barbecue, because I'm gonna go eat over there. They set up in one of the domes already had a bunch of werewolves in them that just lived up here before all the bullshit started. So yeah, like, come on, we'll yeah. And he kind of leads you to one of the older domes that was here probably before this became a refugee colony. So it's definitely more worn down. And you see like tribal graffiti, and you see, spirit marks that are more subtle, so marking this off as territory, but also almost ironically also that glyph of welcome. So
A meeting place.
So the general gist is this is our territory, but people are welcome to gather here. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with us in our own home, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
And you can definitely hear, like, there is howling, there is chanting, people are talking, they've actually, someone built a fire pit in the middle of it, but they also have, like, not the most state-of-the-art air filtration, but, like, they've cobbled together a nice setup where they can have, you know, fire dances and weird shit like that, but, not...
Set up with fire alarms.
Yeah, not set up with fire alarms, not suffocate everyone living in this compound. And you definitely see people milling around who just live here and are just humans or just used to there being werewolves.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little, like, dismayed, like, well, there's a lot of them now, but, you know, no one's really bothering. So, like how the vampires had this sort of middle courtyard space, and it was surrounded like a hotel. Or, like, one of the Dragon Con hotels.
Yep.
I miss cons. Anyway, so it's set up like that, only obviously much older, more rundown. There are trees and plants, and they're all much bigger because they've been here longer. And yeah, they're just the werewolves are kind of just hanging out. People are eating. Someone's got their own grill out, but it looks like a few people went to the bug barbecue stand. And have brought their own, like, the guy gave, you know, like a little paper container and then immediately put a cap on it because the air isn't nice for a barbecue or otherwise. Even the bug was wearing a respirator mask. It was weird, man. Some changelings...
Well, the bugs be wearing them, like, right down here because they breathe in through their sides, but yeah.
Well, that's why you suspect this is a changeling beast. Or some sort of changeling because, like...
It was breathing through its face.
Yeah. Weird. See, some changelings just gotta live their truth. You know, they're like that on Eden sometimes too. It's, you know, or Eden City, I should say. So yeah.
I know what his name was. The guy who was running the barbecue cart. Kafka.
Writing that down. Well, technically it would be Gregor, but okay.
Yeah, well,
Kafka. Anyway,
that's the joke.
Yes. That is probably a true Fae bullshit. Anyway, so yeah, so this guy, yeah, he leads you in, and a few wolves. You also see other people that are probably wolf bloods. Most of them don't do ritual scarring or tattoos, probably because people hate Supernats here. And have done for several decades, so people don't like wearing the colors openly.
Yeah.
But you see more jewelry and piercings and things that can be hidden or changed more easily, stealthed. And yeah, they're kind of the kinfolk are kind of around the perimeter, and there's lots of, like, picnic tables and things and places to sit. Whereas the werewolves are more in the center, all talking. Not because, you know, the wolfbloods aren't allowed, but because, you know, right now they're talking about going to war on the planet, and wolfbloods don't really do that.
Not so directly, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to stay behind and defend the homestead, probably, because that's what they do.
And there are some beefy wolfbloods here, just like at home. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, you know, takes all sorts. You know, you got the beefy people who are, you know, the physically oriented ones who have the physical tells, like brute jaw, that kind of thing. There's the skinless ones, which are weird.
I'll bet there is a skinless one somewhere, but he's probably he's one of those people that you see wearing a vac suit all the time.
Yeah,
because it's not fun.
And then and then there are the spiritually inclined wolf bloods, which have, like, the evil eye and like the horse wolf blood tail and that kind of stuff.
I have to reread that chapter again.
Yeah, they're wolf bloods go one way or the other. They very few go both ways. So they do.
Yep.
Sorry.
So
I read it, and there are very visual indicators of wolf blood, which is why they're wolf bloods and not humans.
Yeah, so this guy, he actually leads you right up to the fire pit. And let me check my notes again.
I'm about to piss a bitch off just by being here, unfortunately.
Oh, mother.
Oh, there was one werewolf last session was being
Venturi werewolf.
had it up her nose.
You don't see her anywhere, but you know there are still some snooty-looking werewolves around, looking imposing while other people talk, and do the actual planning. Is it? Hey, Dad, this is that guy from the meeting.
Nice to meet you. I'm Dune.
And it's like, oh, hey. Yeah, so, yeah, you got any more intel on us? Like, a lot of us are still staying because we're defending the homestead in case, the government attacks. But, like, yeah.
Fair. I have some unfortunate news, from the crows down on the planet.
Okay.
Our unfortunate incursion into the wound rather alerted the thing in the center that there was interest in it again. And as we escaped, mostly unscathed, there was one casualty, but it has started gathering its forces. The crows report that there is at least a 10% increase over what we saw, and what we saw was less than a third of its forces. Coming into the wound. They have been doing their best to try and prevent more spirits from entering, but they've been only so successful as there are, I believe, 8 of them at most.
Yeah, I always wondered about what the crow's deal was, but now this makes sense. They're probably not allowed to talk about it.
No, there is a great deal of hypotheticals in there.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's also worth noting that the spirits present in the wound currently are a fair amount of supernaturals, the ones who died there of the plague. So they have the banes and the bands of the supernaturals they came from.
Okay, alright. So like maybe sunlight.
For some of them, sun.
Cold iron. Well, we can't really carry silver, but you know, there's other stuff.
Fair, yes. The
fire hurts everything.
The Iron Masters, who were down in the wound as we were trying to make our way out, had specific weapons, and they did shoot sunlight and cold iron, as far as I could tell.
Cool.
I don't think they fired silver, but I could have been wrong. I was somewhat preoccupied at the time by trying to carry our last member out, as he had fallen to a rat spirit who had eaten a fire spirit earlier. It was not a pleasant time.
Yeah, Magaths are pretty weird like that. Alright, yeah, we can work
Indeed.
with that.
Also, I have information that you should know about Idun, specifically, although Balder in general as a system. So Idun City on Balder is about 50 square miles of city. It's not a planet city like Logoi is. There is green area outside of the city.
Cool.
But the packs who have already claimed it as their own and portioned it out are they're not good. There's a reason that there are a very high percentage of wolf bloods living in Idun City, having escaped from the wolf country to go to the city.
So
these were not exactly what you'd call by choice.
So they're uber territorial and
they're territorial, yes, and they also believe that anyone not a werewolf is not worthy of their consideration beyond what use they can get from them.
That sucks. Alright.
So if you're planning to try and settle out there, 1, you will have to fight for it, and 2, any non-werewolf members you bring will be imperiled.
Alright, that's good to know. Thanks for that. So is that just like one part of the rest? Because I looked it up on my phone, so it's like Balder and it's like one kind of big continent. So is it just like, and he brings up the map on like a tablet. He's like, so like what part should we avoid? Or is it just the entire continent is covered in werewolf assholes?
These specific areas, I will point them out. They're mostly near the mountains and some of the nicer vacation spots, which sucks. But you know,
the mountain. It's actually It's east of the city by the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Still would be nice vacation spots, but not the entire coast. But yeah, you can point out where the wolf country is.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
Yes, they do. They stay away from the city, so you can. There's a certain zone. I will outline the zone basically of like outside the city where werewolves don't come because the hill
Yeah.
builds up into the city.
Yeah,
so
it
like
said the gauntlet's like really high. So okay. Well, I
I
mean,
have
if the
never-
gauntlet's so high in the city, they probably don't need that many werewolves.
there are 2 packs living in the city currently.
Mhm.
I believe they have about 12 members each ish. My aunt is one of them.
There's about 12 werewolves altogether.
Altogether, pardon me.
The sewer pack is like 4 kids, and the rest of them
Yeah.
run about the rooftops.
So there's about 12 werewolves who take care of the city. My aunt is leader of one of the packs who lives in the city, one of the
Oh.
few.
Okay.
But she is she is rather more respectful, let's say, than the countryside packs and my mother. Anyway, still,
Yeah.
they are rather traditional in the country, and they don't really appreciate any forward thinkers, as it were.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking more maybe take my family out to the rim, because it sounds like a lot of those rim planets have a lot of monsters to deal and weird local troubles to deal with, and thus they're a bit friendlier to wolf packs and their families, wolves and their wives.
I was simply letting you know it is
Yeah.
is a local knowledge worth having if you.
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind, because I mean, you know, some werewolves are assholes. I mean, some of the wolves here are assholes, but like those of us who don't want to go and take over someone else's territory in general, let alone fight a bunch of local assholes, like yeah.
To be fair, I believe I met one of your local assholes last night. Anyway,
Well, that was tonight.
earlier, I should say.
Yeah, she's kind of a bitch.
Literally.
Storm lords hang out with vampires. Okay.
But still, it is worth knowing. I respect that you yourself and your family will probably not be staying on Eden, but there are some who might make that choice, and they ought to know all the facts before going into it.
Yeah, I know a good.
Or the unaffiliated, as they were.
I know a good gibbous talker. I'll see if she can spread the word around better than me. So okay,
Indeed.
thanks for the update.
Yes. How many are you intending to send, approximately?
We are still working out, or we haven't really done like a census. So if you see over there, and he points to, there's a whole bunch of shamans talking to things you can't see, so you assume spirits. So yeah, our spirit talkers are Theurge's, not Theurge, anyway, our crescent moons are kind of getting intel from their spirit buddies and sort of taking a census. It's gonna take a while. We think by dawn we'll probably know, because we had to wait for night properly to fall before starting this. But yeah, so probably by dawn we'll have a better idea of our numbers and how many are going.
Fair. We are trying to move up the timeline as much as we possibly can,
Yeah.
because we don't want to give the wound any more time, the things that live in the wound any more
Yeah.
time than they already
The
have to
wound-
prepare,
the
which
wound
they are
is-
already getting.
The wound is bad enough, but if there's a Maelgin in it, then those things are evil incarnate. And,
Indeed.
yeah.
And whatever it is, it's marshalling its forces. So I would rather give it less time rather than more before we do anything
Yep.
about that.
Hard agree. Well, what was your name again?
I am Dune.
Hi, Mr. Dune. I
Indeed.
am. What is it? I'm Justice Bell.
Good to meet you, Bell. Esquire.
It's like I'm Justice Bell Jr. Like you definitely see a family resemblance.
Fair.
So he's probably, you see by tribal marking, he's probably a half moon of some sort.
Fair. Also, I should say that, while I don't know if anyone would want to, the Wolfbloods are also welcome to come. We are not going to turn anyone away who wishes to fight. I don't know that any of them would want to, but I don't want them to be excluded. That's
Okay. I mean, that's fair, but our
Yeah.
Wolfbloods are, you know, we have a lot of strong kids here, but like we don't make them fight on the front lines.
No,
But we
I'm
do
simply
teach them
saying
to defend themselves. But I don't know if I'm. You're not coming to the wound. He points to his son. He's like, that's okay, Dad. I don't want to go.
I'm simply saying that if any of them want to, they are welcome. I am not trying to pressure them any. We will
Okay.
probably have enough. Honestly, we would probably deal better with more changelings that we can get, because they have distance attacks and their sort of nonsense is unknown to the Mildren at the center. So I was simply thinking that if any of them wanted to come, they could wield the silver.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, the weapons you're talking about are probably fetishes that the pack has.
It must, whoever comes, it must be their choice. We are not pressuring anybody.
Yeah. We're not gonna do that. I dare say most of the werewolves on the planet want to do the second Exodus, though, so...
Fair. We have space. We have space for 2,000 comfortably if they were going to live. However, since we are going to make one jump through the gate all the way back to Eden, will probably not be comfortably, but it can be done, I believe.
Alright, yeah, I'll spread the word around.
Also, we have, while we have a lot of space on the ship itself, through, as you say, the gate, the actual gate itself is somewhat more limited. We are endeavoring to make it wider now, but as it stands, it's a single file line. We will be trying to make it We'll be trying to make it 3 abreast, but it's still going to be something of a bottleneck. So prepare accordingly. We would like.
I'm probably going to be one of the werewolves to go to the meeting tomorrow. So yeah, we'll work out all those logistics there. And that lady Liz Queen something, I don't know. She's pretty on the ball about stuff. So
fair. Also, while they were speaking earlier, they were speaking of sending in the non-combatants first into the hollow. However, since it is a hollow in the hedge, I would like to have at least a few combatants in the back, as it were, with the rest of the non-combatants.
I don't know a lot about changeling bullshit, but okay. Like, we'll talk about...
I don't particularly know either, but I don't really trust the edges of the thing. It's not my purview, but I don't feel like whatever's outside of it is what you might call particularly safe. So I'm thinking perhaps at least a few combatants mixed in with the ones at the back, so that in case we are reached from an unexpected direction, we don't take too many casualties.
Okay, well, we'll talk about all this tomorrow.
Indeed.
So, all right, thanks, man. You're welcome to hang out here. Like, a lot of the people who lived on this colony already were werewolves, and patrolled as packs in this area. And I mean, wolves who live pack style are already kind of more space efficient than other people. So yeah, you're welcome to stay here if you want, or just come here, hang out with other wolf people. Like, we're pretty chill. Like, they're assholes. You saw some of them. But most of us are pretty chill. And we don't treat our wolf bloods as property, because that's shitty.
I much appreciate you for saying so. However, given my previous experiences, I believe I will be taking myself back to the ship as lived anecdotal experience, besides, as it were, not exactly the most comfortable around wolves anymore. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll head back to the ship.
No pressure. Alright, see you later, man. Yep.
Idun doesn't like werewolves.
I can't blame him.
Yeah, trauma.
And
trauma sucks.
It took, 2 decades for his aunt to stop triggering the reflex, because she was the one who got on the job as a mercenary and bartender. And we established this way back when we were doing backstories.
I saw that part of the episode. I'm not through it yet, but I saw the part of the beginning of Anti-Batman.
Yes.
Someone's watching our VODs.
I have to know what I missed.
You missed a lot.
I know.
Nobody calls Dune by his first name, just so you know.
Grover.
No, go away.
Oh, that's what I forgot what Dune's first name was.
That's what that whole little italicized Grover meant in the Discord.
Well, no, it's because there's another Grover in Demon Hunters. Ask me about that after game.
Okay, I will bug you after game. But...
Or watch a Demon Hunters where I'm playing Kathy Blexsplut. Blexprut. I forget.
I'll get to there eventually.
And then you'll meet another Grover. Blexprut, yes, that's it. Anyway, so unless anything else is going on, there is 13 minutes left. So, okay, so, dawn arrives, you get a sense of the community is, still building, still working on projects, but that, there's a lot of gatherings happening in various points. People are taking turns with that kind of central hangout area in the shanty town, and in the basement. They're tentatively asking the Shadow Court if they could use the basement. It's just, yeah, whatever, it's fine. You won't be able to see us.
I promise we don't wait.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do, but this is sort of an emergency.
Well, so. That's why she added the much. Just to freak some of them out.
And definitely that means there are going to be Night Court spying on the other meetings, but that's just what you do. This is
if
just...
the Nosferatu do not have a manipulation of... No, not manipulation. Monopoly.
A manipulation of vampires. There we go.
A monopoly on spying on people. There we go.
Yep.
Words. I can do words.
So y'all are, just doing whatever you are doing on your ship, in the shipyards. Holiday, you might be... Are you in and out of the office working on more legal stuff in your on the crappy little extra desk?
Sure.
Yeah. So the administrator is around, and she seems a little excited and a little worried because of all the things going on, but she doesn't say anything, but you get a sense that she's in the know. And she kind of is looking at you differently, as if maybe she was in the room when you shattered your mask. But she's still very helpful and still very, very, very pro what you're working on, and there's still really not much else going on in her office, so she just,
Yeah. Being bored.
You do hear, from the desk, you hear that, you hear the Todd in the, at the dispatch saying, basically bringing in another ship. And, he's like, no cargo at all? Okay. Yeah, repairs? Yeah, we can do repairs. Just, if you can't send us a manifest now, just do it when you get to the ground. So apparently another ship is coming in. After a little while after that, he was like, okay, send me your repair needs. Hello? Hello? And he's checking through the security cameras. Huh. Okay. And
who is seeing this?
Todd at the dispatch tower.
Okay, so none of us can see this going on.
No.
I think Holiday is the only one. There is the implication, right?
Yeah, Holiday can. Desk. Yeah, Holiday in an office where absolutely nothing usually happens. Something is odd.
We'll go see what's going on.
By the time you're in there, he's got a security feed up, and he's kind of like, yeah, Liz, could you get some security going? Yeah, well, this guy just got off his ship with a really big gun. I can't tell if he's a changeling or not by the camera, but yeah, he came in alone. No cargo manifest. He said he was coming in for repairs and landed and didn't tell me what the repair work was that he needed, so... And at that point, you start hearing a commotion of gunfire and roaring, and... Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's probably what's going on over there. All right, yeah, send a team. I'll try to get cameras on it. Send a team.
So Holiday hears the commotion. Do either of us hear the commotion?
At this,
Yeah, I would
at
assume
some
Isphere would
point-
be like sitting on the
Yeah.
ship and
At some
just like
point after
sharpening her
that,
sword.
yeah, you didn't hear this, but you do hear that there is a really big gun being fired, in the direction of the work camps, or not the work, the construction sites, and a lot of roaring going on.
We'll move to intercept.
Dune is
Right.
gonna grab his pulse rifle and get out of the ship.
Yeah, Isphere will spin her sword around, put it in the scabbard. Scabbard. My words are not working today. Put it on the scabbard to just start
So,
booking it.
you start
assuming
booking
Dune's
it.
coming.
So by the time you get there, it seems like things are kind of over already, because
Aw.
there is a guy in full-on giant wolf monster mode, holding this, like, pale, scrawny, dark-haired boy, probably a boy is the best way to describe him, and his gun is on the ground, and he's, like, kicking, and he's like, "You can't do this to me! Do you know who my dad is? No, I came here to collect bounties! This isn't fair!" And just a lot of people, some people are laughing, some are kind of like, head in hands, like, why?
Oh, collecting bounties, are you? Gilded member of the Mercenaries Guild, are you?
No, I collect Supernat boundary. I'm Ben Swolo. Like, you people are a crime on nature. It's my right as a human being to take you down.
Oh.
Let put me down, you monster.
Precious little one.
Oh,
Do you want to see a monster?
What's funnier than that is he's saying this in the pause of a full-on Garou.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
The Garou has
Isphere's
actually started shrinking down by this. Once the whining starts, or has continued, he kind of shrinks back down into,
Dalu.
Human size.
Dalu, yeah, so slightly bigger, but not, delirium-inducing, or whatever we call it, lunacy.
Lunacy. Yeah.
But he was also holding him away, so the kid wasn't looking directly at him.
I can
And,
show you many monsters, little one.
And the werewolf kind of holds him over to you, and even as you're speaking, there are shadows collecting all around you, and he's like, "Oh, it's changeling bullshit. Okay, just gonna hold him."
And she'll just kind of like use them to like start slowly like expanding her shadow and making it look as creepy as fuck and making her features narrow, going full on Slenderman as she's leaning in. Tell me, little one, how badly do you want to meet monsters?
I'm not afraid of you. This is all an illusion. I have rights.
Your rights were lost when you shot people.
Dune will set his gun down butt first and just kind of lean on it because it's a fucking huge ass gun. Like, this thing is almost taller than he is, and Dune is 6'4".
Yeah, it's much bigger than his also. This is a purchased NPC by Fadier.
Of course. Oh no.
But I took a lot of editorial control because I'm like, this would be funny. Also, we've got bigger shit to deal with.
So,
sorry, Holiday, you're breaking up a bit.
Give me your keys, Muppet.
No! It's a retinal scan, so you can't have my keys.
So can Isphere just place like her claws right where his eye are?
At that point, if you could let us take it from here, dear. Thank you. And you see, oh, it's Liz, and Liz with like a platoon of ogres.
Fine, I was getting bored anyway.
Yes, I think this little one's not worth the effort. We'll just put him in lockdown, which is so echoingly empty. It could use little occupancy.
if I might recommend, I feel like you're going to get a lot of whinging from this one, so I would suggest a gag.
Before you do anything, where were you taking the bounties to?
I'm not telling you. I'm not
Fine,
to tell
we can
you
break
anything.
into your ship.
You are going to tell me, or things are going to become very, 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 very bad for you.
I'm going to take this opportunity to look around for an embraced if I can find one.
During the day, so...
Yeah.
There's enough ogres running around that the implied threat of violence should be enough to convince him that it's a really good idea to, start talking.
I mean, I was kind of thinking that if we wanted to get out of this without breaking any bones, we could just
Dune,
Aw.
roll wits occult.
All right. I'm assuming no werewolf bonus.
Nah, not this time.
Well, that's a 1. I don't fucking know anything.
Would like being somebody who operates in like the fringes, like smuggling and stuff, know more about the bounties and like maybe possibly where he's turning them in? It's a shot. I'm not saying it would work, but it's a shot.
Yeah, roll, let me look at your sheet real quick.
Well, Holiday's interrogating. She's just listening and
Well, he's not
parsing
really
through her
interrogating.
brain.
This child is just whining.
Whining.
That would be intelligence,
That's the other thing is that a vampire domination would give us straight
Everything.
answers.
Intelligence streetwise. Let's go
Okay.
with that. And I dare say you could use your black market on as for a bonus.
Okay, so 6, 8, 10, 11 altogether. So 2.
Okay. Well, you've heard that there are kind of open bounties on Supernats in the core, but we're not in the core.
Right.
There are probably Expanse systems that have joined the core are doing something, or I've started doing that, but like you haven't heard of that here yet.
Okay.
Because they're just starting to become assholes. They have not gone full-fledged asshole yet.
Yeah.
However, you don't see why someone couldn't take a Supernat from one system and transport them to another for a bounty.
Yeah.
And this kid seems like a vanilla human, so not a very smart one.
Yes. You do know we're not on court, huh?
I don't have to tell you anything. I know my rights. My rights are universal throughout the galaxy because I'm a real human.
Your rights ended when you started shooting at people,
I'm
Buttercup.
a real human. I'm a patriot to humanity. You can't treat me like this. I have rights. And just squirming at the end of this werewolf's arm. And he's like, do you changelings want to take this asshole? Because I've got stuff to do.
I mean, I could kill him. That would solve problem.
No, let's not kill an idiot human, and that's all the excuse they need to nuke us at this moment.
I mean, I do suppose that it would cause some sort of strife if something were to happen to him as a human.
I recommend someone look into the computer logs on his ship. No, the retinal logs. Shut up. Yes, of course. Supernaturals have absolutely no way of breaking into a retinal locked ship. Indeed.
Yes, no
How
way at
clever
all.
of you. And she just sort of motions, doesn't even speak, just motions to her people, and they,
Her entourage.
one guy has cuffs, another woman, has more cuffs, and they just sort of bundle this guy up. Someone's bringing, like, one of the golf carts around, and they're just gonna truss him up and put him in the back, and, they drive him out towards, it's that same structure that has, like, the tower in it, but it's, like, the backside, so you assume, okay, well, I guess they have a brig.
I'll pick up his gun.
Yeah. You can see, on the side of the dome where he shot it, because he
No,
probably missed whatever he was trying to shoot.
I just need the gun for a personal effect.
Okay.
Oh, so you can change into him.
No, so I can hostile take over his ship.
Oh, well, that works too.
There you go. It becomes your ship.
I didn't even remember that, I just knew, yeah, they'll get in. You've got 20,000 changelings. They will
Oh
get
no,
on
retinal
that ship.
scan, and we have a face changer. Oh no.
Or we could just hack it.
Yeah.
We don't even need to do magic-y
Do
bullshit.
you know how to use computers?
I'm assuming someone in this colony does.
But
That's fair.
Holiday could also just hostile take over his ship.
Okay, we'll find that too.
I'm,
Go on. Hostile takeover away.
I'm really trying to figure out if I can actually hostile take over all of Logoi because it's one contiguous structure.
But it's full of changelings, other changelings.
No, Logoi.
Logoi is
okay,
human.
yeah.
Here, yes.
Sorry, I got the names of the planets mixed up again.
I can't speak tonight. You're fine.
I do that too, and I wrote it. So, yeah, I'll say I forget how the contract works, but yeah. And it's, hello, Ben Swallow. What do you need today? Says the ship's AI, or very cheap AI.
Do we have any prisoners aboard?
That we do not have any prisoners aboard. Would you like to see the system's bounties list for today?
Yes, please.
And it brings up, and it's basically what S-Sphere figured out, which is, yeah, and you can see the flight log. This guy apparently, give me a, actually, give me a roll of...
I feel like politics is going to come into play.
It's not quite politics. Let me... Wait, that's not your sheet. This is your sheet. I think this would be intelligence and... this would technically be intelligence investigation.
I don't have investigation, because...
Yeah, you don't.
I do, if you need.
I was gonna say, I think I have a 2 in investigation. I'm assuming we came with you if you wanted to divide and conquer.
Yeah, because you can bring up since you hostile takeover, the AI will just tell you everything you want to know and show you all the computer files and all that. So but it's a matter of putting it all together. So if someone else wants to roll wits investigation,
I can do that.
So yeah, you see you see stops in the core. You see that this guy seems to have been circling around the core for a bit. But yeah, the bounty lists are all from core or core aligned Expanse systems.
17.
17, yeah. So Dune, you're in the Mercs Guild. You're a real mercenary. So the sense you get from this is that since they don't really have a Mercs union, except for Supernats, the bounty list includes things from systems, also private bounties. So maybe rich people, maybe megacorps flying under the radar. But yeah, bounties on any, Supernat, dead or alive, dead this much, alive this much. So Dune, based on the flight logs, you get a sense this guy was flaccidly flying around the core trying to hunt down sneaky Supernats, but there are none left in the core. And if they are hiding really fucking well. So then he started probably moving out into the Expanse because he wants to be a Supernat bounty hunter.
Can I look at his gun, too, and see what that'll tell me? Because I am a gun connoisseur, as it were.
This is a pretty good quality gun. Actually, yeah, you can also probably see his bank records. You get a sense that, he's not from a house, like one of the nobility, but he's definitely a spoiled rich kid. Who's taking a smallish but substantial trust fund and trying to become a famous bounty hunter. There are a lot of movies and books about, famous bounty hunter fiction and stuff like that, and it's just, he's stupid.
Any valuables we can liberate while in here? And then, do we have information on who Daddy is?
I mean, he's a trust fund kid that his parents are probably dead. But even then, as long as he's not a noble house, it doesn't matter because they're not going to come out looking for him.
Yeah, okay, so no ransom. All right, scratch that thought.
Well, they are, the Swallow family.
Oh, okay.
The gun would fetch a nice price. There are a few other expensive guns.
She'll whistle at Dune. Wait, look at these. I don't know why I changed to this accent, but there we go.
There is a few flight suits that were clearly, custom made and very finely tailored because you have to look scary to be a bounty hunter, right?
Cool. They definitely have like purely decorative
armor.
Duster. I was actually going to say the cloth flaps or whatever. You know, so they could blow in the wind dramatically when he was on a planet that was, you know.
Actually, his is you look at it and some of them are padded. So he's probably even more of a string being than he looked in his. It's basically looks like this flight suit is meant to look like he's ripped and super muscular.
Right, fake abs.
Yeah, basically.
Nice.
But altogether, the hull, the stuff here that the ship itself is in pretty good condition, and not really broken in. The stuff on the ship would probably be about 5,000 credits.
So
I mean, I will take the guns from my stash, but
Yeah.
honestly, for the rest of it, I would just.
Could sell everything, make nice profit, fix holes.
But yeah, it'll take a few minutes. It would take a little while for you to research who the Swallow family are, but it's not coming up immediately in Space Wiki as a noble house.
Okay.
Or
She'll
yeah.
file it away for later, just because you never know.
Basically, his family is unlikely to swear a generations-long blood feud with anything that kills him.
Hmm.
I mean, you never know. They're upstart houses or house wannabes, but yeah, you're not getting in trouble with the Tudors or the Boleyns, as that's sort of the two levels of noble or elite houses.
As long as we avoid the Pars and the Howards, we're good.
Yeah. Well, like Tudor would be like the 6 families that control the core and supposedly the rest of the galaxy, and then the Boleyns and the Pars and all that are kind of, even the Borgias are kind of like, and the Medici, well, early Medicis before they actually married into French royalty, are all kind of milling about trying to get their approval and their attention in Marion and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
Which hasn't come up much. Because
I mean, noble families uninterested in places that do not belong to their royal empire? Strange.
But this guy isn't one of those. At least not yet. But you would have to do more research to find out about that if you gave a shit. So...
I don't. I think the vampire should embrace him because I think it'd be funny. That's some vindictive like that. Because like, oh yeah, no, I'm human. You can't do this. And he's like, yeah, you want to know how long that'll last?
Isphere will look later, but that's
good luck
like something we can do off stream.
Oh yeah, just email me.
I knew it. Yeah, I got what you mean.
Good luck finding a kindred who would embrace this asshole.
Yeah, even for the lulz, like...
I don't know, he sounds Tremere enough.
Well, there aren't Tremere vampires here. Tremeres are evil mage liches.
Oh, that's fair.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But can the party outrun the Joneses? Well, they haven't taken any prisoners from that family yet. But we'll see how we do next week.
To be fair, we didn't take... Huh?
Antagonize the Jones family. Let's see how well that works out.
Oh, wait.
I was going to say that we didn't do it to this guy, you know? Like, we stole his ship, maybe, but we're not the ones imprisoning him. We're not the ones who stopped him.
I mean, Isphere threatened bodily harm, but that's, you can't, in court, that's a very minor offense versus actual.
Holiday, you get, like, a text message from Liz, and she's like, yeah, we're just going to keep him locked up, and then whether we stay or go, he's the problem of whatever humans come to storm this colony at some point.
That's fine. I'm going to use hostile takeover to have his AI transfer ownership of his ship to me.
Done!
I'll have them empty his trust fund into a bank account that I have used.
Okay, this is all... I didn't... Okay. I don't know how big... Actually, no, let's, it's in the millions, so... But not the billions, so... Not that big, but let's
I would break it up just to keep the taxmen off.
Okay,
but,
there are $10 million... There's 10 million credits in his trust fund, which is enough for a normal person to live off for the rest of their life, but these are clearly rich assholes.
For several lives, as long as they're human.
Yeah. So 10 million credits, 5,000 from selling off his stuff.
I'm gonna keep his guns. Like, I'm not selling the guns.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes?
Would we be able to see if he's having regular communication with, like, other similar-minded people? Like, any kind of wannabe
There is
message boards?
There is a message board because Dune got a 17. There's like a message board of bounty hunter wannabes, but Dune alone can see that these are all assholes and they know nothing about Supernats. They all see themselves. They call themselves the Proud Bounty Hunters. And they consider that the Mercenaries Union is this evil organization that they have to fight for their freedom and their continued rights as pure humans.
God.
It's very much a Nazi.
I got where you were going.
Yeah, but it's like a stupid supremacist group.
Yeah, not the smart ones. Isphere will just look at it. We should probably at least put this on someone's radar. I mean, granted, this one couldn't hit.
Say that again? I didn't hear.
I have a better idea. I'm going to put a post on there that says, if you're really interested in hunting down the Supernats, and you really want to get the inside scoop, you need to buy into this particular group of deposit money into this account.
There you go.
Yes! It's like having the NFT crypto bros get their shit stolen.
So
please let this succeed, storyteller. I need this catharsis.
So only 40% of them fall for it.
But none of them can tell when I'm lying is the problem. I have that changeling ability.
Well, yeah. Oh, none of them can tell when you're lying?
Correct. Unless you're a supernatural creature, you cannot tell that I am lying.
Okay, then I guess they all fall. Then you get about 40 grand from that.
Excellent. But now I have their bank information.
Yes, you do.
Isphere's just watching. This is actually wow. This is all right.
I want to be on this crew. This is awesome.
Good job. That is good.
I'll transfer the ship ownership. I'll rearrange the ship ownership 6 or 7 different ways so it passes through multiple different hands between point A and point B until it finds its way into somebody that I trust. So
that I think is that's gonna take a roll. Well, yeah, but hostile takeover means you own the ship, navigating the.
No, I'm passing it through my identities.
Okay, that's. Okay. How many do you have? Because
like 12.
Okay. Let me look at your stats because
I can make the politics roll for it to work.
Hold on, let me check real quick.
You mean the guaranteed success roll?
It's not guaranteed.
Okay, the 90% guaranteed success roll.
Did you not take the alternative identity merit?
I do. I have it twice.
Oh, there it is. It's very tiny on this character sheet.
Yeah, because I ran out of space for merits.
Yeah. Okay, let's.
I'll pass it through. I'll pass it from Masterson to not real good identity to another not real good identity to another not real good identity to another not real good identity. So it ends up in the possession of a holiday.
Okay, I think that's gonna still take it's bureaucracy. What would that be?
A convincing roll.
I have a specialization for bureaucracy under politics.
Okay.
Of course you do.
So then that's going to be manipulation, politics, with your skill spec.
Can I add my arbitration cross-disciplinary specialty to it?
This isn't. You're not really arbitrating anything between two real people.
But they're real on paper.
Okay, fine.
For bureaucracy's purposes, they are legal. They are legit, people.
10, 11, 20.
Okay, this is exception. Yeah. Holiday has a ship.
Excellent.
Does the ship still call you Mr. Swallow, or is it calling you Mr. Holiday now?
Mr. Holiday.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, Mr. Holiday. How can I help you?
Keep monitoring this feed and see if more people show up and are interested in the super secret supernatural bounty hunters club. Keep me informed.
Yes, sir. I will keep an eye. I will keep an eye on this message board.
If you notice any similar message boards, alert me. I'll have something to add to their discussion.
Yes, sir. And it starts, processing away.
This is terrifying, and I am extremely impressed.
You haven't even seen me play the piano yet.
He is very good at it.
I believe you.
Though I would say that perhaps we have seen you play a piano, because you certainly played those idiots like they were pianos.
Not wrong.
Anyway, I think that's enough for one night.
All right, we didn't punch planet, but we got our forces together and put a whiny kid in jail.
Oh, I will walk back over to the nice lady who administrates the office.
Mm-hmm.
Hand her the account details for the 10 million credits.
Aww.
Okay. What's this for?
Donation from an idiot.
To get the shipyards running again for people.
Oh, okay.
Put that in your operational budget.
Yes.
Okay.
It is his way of saying sorry for not following proper paperwork.
Okay.
I suspect it's his way of making the kid pay for the hole he put in the wall.
Well, that too.
Wasn't even a proper hole. It was just like a smudge, but it's still his principle. He hit the broadside of a barn. Now he must pay.
Oh, don't.
I will go through and check all his guns to make sure he didn't put anything stupid bouncer hunty shit on it that would imbalance or otherwise impede their function.
It did seem he had a slug projectile. He had a projectile gun that he was trying to figure out, like, cold iron and silver ordnance. You probably would have found more guns, except some of them were clearly broken in these experiments because that's a stupid ass thing to do.
Fair enough. Okay.
First bank of Logoi on my way out of town.
Anywho, so yes, chat. That's Exit to Eden for tonight. A world of darkness in space, where cyberpunk shenanigans are a regular occurrence, and people buy us NPCs, and then I do horrible things to them. So thanks. I think that was a failure NPC. That gave us some good times.
I almost got to take an eye out.
Oh, I was totally ready to. I was like,
Those annoying lawful good summer courtiers showed up.
I know. It's
You would have
like
to-
I'm gonna.
You would have to probably fight Puka for it, because Puka's got a contract that requires an eyeball.
Puka does want eyeballs. That's true.
Yes,
Well,
Puka
we
is
just need
collecting
the
eyeballs.
eyeball to get onto the ship. After that, whoever wants it can have it.
Anyway, so yeah, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I hope we were amusing for a few hours with our weird Supernats cyberpunk shenanigans. Next week, we will get to the meeting where all of the numbers will be crunched.
Next Eden week. Next week,
Eden.
we are hopefully going to play Karabos, the Crystal City.
We're gonna try again, guys!
This game is not cursed. This game is not cursed. This game is not cursed.
We've
We've played it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened. Maybe it's just spring that's cursed. It was also Mercury retrograde. Like, who the fuck knows? But yes, next week, Karabos. Fun
Taking a
indie
train to
game.
the city.
Yes. Indie game one-shot. We alternate Exit to Eden on some Saturdays with Indie one-shot game night. I need a better title for this. Indie one-shot game night. I
That
need
was
a better...
indie showcase.
Indie showcase? Maybe we could do that. That would be good.
Indie showcase.
Join our Discord and give me more suggestions. So we are open to having again. One, I can't pay anyone on this channel, in part because we use channel points instead of cash. But just I didn't start this channel to make money. I don't see why that should change now. I don't. Maybe someday it will change. That is not this time. But if you want to stream with us and don't mind not getting paid, we are open to accepting new players for the Indie Showcase and some of the Tuesday night games. Right now on Tuesday nights, we are in the middle of a game of Alien the RPG, where we just started fighting monsters, and it's very ridiculous. Go look at the VODs on YouTube and Twitch. That's GM John's night. After the 4th game, so 2 more weeks of that, and then starting in July, July? I don't remember. Dates, time is weird. After that, we have 4 sessions of G.I. Joe in the Essence 20 system, a campaign that we are calling Relics of War. And then after 4 weeks of that, we do 4 more weeks of Anime 5e. So if you want to come game with us, we have our Discord, and there is a form on the Discord where you can sign up to be a player with us. Or if you want to GM something on Saturday night as a one-shot, if you are an indie RPG writer, contributor, developer, playtester, artist, enthusiast, and you want to run a one-shot, join the Discord, talk to us. We might make you fill out a form.
You sure it's the form that doesn't involve sacrificing your soul and your firstborn soul? I made that mistake the first time.
That's only on the cast locked channels. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still fighting with the Eldritch deity.
Yeah. Hack our Discord at your peril. But yeah, so if you want to game with us or GM with us, let us know. Join the Discord! Join it, because I'm terrible at all other social media and only marginally better at Discord. So, for fuck's sake, join our Discord. If you want to game with us. I thought I had filled out the cast for this night, but I don't know. Well, it's summer. People are traveling. We'll see. But yeah, so we have slots open on Tuesday nights and on Saturday indie game nights. So don't bother us. It doesn't bother us. Come join our Discord and talk to us and vibe check us and chill with us. We have an excellent shitposting channel because Merc is excellent at shitposting. And yes.
Sorry, there was a gnat.
And yeah, so me personally, I'm at Ms. Chrysala on all the other social medias. I am applying to join some other things on some other channels, and if and when that works out, I'll put it on my Twitter. So go follow that. And probably also signal boost it on the Discord, because it's my Discord and I can.
That's how that works, yes.
Oh, one thing, we don't mind people posting their own streams on our Discord, but only if it doesn't conflict with our streams. There is now a rule about that on the related channels, so yeah. If you are running something at the same time of us, you're more than welcome to post a VOD link afterwards. So. But yeah, at best, you're wasting a post on a channel that won't watch you. At worst, or at best, you're wasting a post. At worst, you're trying to filter our audience from our already tiny audience base, so fuck you. But yeah. But VODs! Post all the VODs you want. It's awesome. And with that, I'm going to look for someone, because we do like raiding people. So,
Shields up.
So let me go find us someone to raid while everyone else does outros. Let's go backwards, Space and Meisters. So, Esphere, who are you when you're not, a trash fire goblin trying to pick people's eyes out?
I'm the trash fire goblin for this game. Oh god, sorry, Dracus. I took your job.
You two can fight over the crown.
We could share co-custody.
I don't think there can be more than one trash goblin. It's fine.
This is fair. I'm just being silly. But when I'm not playing my trash fire goblin night court girl, you can find me at the Fennec Wolf. I do a lot of stuff with Nerdsmith, the full podcast over there. Some stuff that's in the works, that I can't wait to share with you all, but because it's not quite ready yet, I gotta let it sit in the oven and bake for a little longer, or else it's all gooey in the center, and that's bad. if it's a cake, gooey in the center is bad. Cookie dough, however, cookies are good gooey. Cake, not so much.
It depends on the cake, because the filling is usually between layers after it is baked. Yeah. Okay. Metaphor stands. Next, Holiday. Who are you when you're not 1,800 people?
I am Zardoz. I am at Once and Future Doctor on Twitter. I run Duffelbag Full of Zombies Press. I occasionally make role-playing games.
Yay!
And
I'm
Dune.
Yep, I'm Merc. I played Dune, the Wolfblood. I don't tend to do much outside of this, honestly. Not really in the public sphere. But I am currently helping out with pre-production for another streaming show called The Shattered Compass. More details coming at Gen Con. It'll be handing out flyers and stuff at Gen Con this year. Me personally, I have most of a novel written. I just need the sign out from one co-author before we start looking for actual publishing options. So we'll see whenever that happens. It took us 3 years to get this far, so I don't know. I don't know. Something might happen, probably won't. Anyway, that's me.
We're putting it out in the universe. It's happening. So I can buy that copy on day 1 and go yell about it on all the social medias.
Or pre-order it on day -30.
All
right.
Just when I thought they pulled me out.
All
We'll
right,
figure it
so we've run so late that there are no other games running, so we have to go raid a DJ. DJ.
Oh no!
Yeah. DJ
Tentacle Rave.
Woo! So yeah, let's raid DJ Melting Girl. She does fun gothic industrial sets. She's still on her save screen, but that's because I didn't realize it was almost 11. So in 2 minutes, the music will start and it will be very good. So let us do the raid command. And so yeah, get ready to raid. Again, I hope we were fun and distracting and ridiculous for you tonight. Sometimes this game is horror, and sometimes it's Red Dwarf, and sometimes it's both. So until we see you next time, please take care of yourselves, please take care of each other, and please Diablerize responsibly.
Bye.